It's booze, voltage, and gravity, following Wendy eventually. Years roll by and the headlines stay while the world keeps turning anyway. Family shadows, prison walls, time keeps marching through it all. You can hold on tight to memory, but you can't outrun gravity.
I could listen to that all day. How are you? I'm like 2 minutes early. I apologize for that. Hey, Blue River, how are you? I was watching Roberta Glass True Crime Report before my time to come on, and that Lindsay Clancy. I I just have nothing nice to say. I think Andrea Yates was a true case of psychosis. I don't believe this girl is. I really don't. I mean, if that's the baseline that we're all looking at is Andrea Yates, she isn't it. I mean, if you're willing to paralyze yourself to get rid of your kids, it's crazy, but that doesn't mean it's insanity. Hey, Sheepfly, how are you? How are you doing? Power's back on. Yay, YB. God, it would be. When I came in here the other night, it was what, 10 o'clock? And I did that late show. It was 77 in here. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Tater, how are you? Tater, I think maybe has a differing opinion. When I was watching Roberta Glass True Crime Report and reading her what do I say? Her chat. Her chat. Like, can't help people. I mean, I just don't. So I'm sure if I could tolerate the trial, which I don't know if I can, as I'm going to babysit grandchildren tomorrow, you know? I've experienced the psych meds and hormone imbalance all at the same time, Patty, and made me a person that I am not. I was hospitalized when I was pregnant. I was an inpatient at a mental hospital outside of Hershey, Pennsylvania. And it was terrifying. My ex-husband put me in there. I was well within my, knowledge of what was going on, but he put me in there. I don't know why I stayed married to him for so long, but I did. And I watched True Psychosis because I was like 7 months pregnant at the time. And which is even scarier when you're with it in a mental health hospital and you're pregnant and you're in a room with someone who they had to take the shower stuff out because she kept trying to strangle herself with the shower nozzle. I was 19 years old. Don't get me started because I will bawl like a baby. And I just do not believe this woman has true psychosis. I'm going to tell you again. If you look at it, like the girl that I was with, because I had to be in a locked unit because there was no bed in the other unit. They put me in a locked unit. True story. It was a private hospital. He was a social worker. He was a social worker. Still is to this day. People throwing like those heavy metal chairs like they have in the courtroom. And I'm pregnant at 19. Needless to say, they took me. I mean, I left short order. But my God, there is a difference between a true psychosis and a hormonal imbalance. And a medication, yes, when you're on it, my husband is bipolar. He's been bipolar as long as I've met him. He has dementia, but I still haven't seen him in a psychotic state as a bipolar person. He's quite well balanced. I always told him before all this happened, he should write a book because he's been so disciplined about his medications. And yes, you need the right doctor and the right meds, and it's your brain, and no one really understands the brain. But I'm going to say it again, probably for the sixth time. There is a difference between a hormonal imbalance and testosterone or estrogen and a psychotic break like Andrea Yates. We all saw her. She was not normal. And she did a lot of time in a psychiatric facility nonetheless. So I do have a personal experience of watching it from the inside, becoming a nurse. I worked up at the Chattahoochee State Hospital here in Florida. There is a huge difference between a woman who is stressed out and probably has postpartum depression and Andrea Yates. And Roberta was right. If, as a nurse, if you want to unalive yourself, you know every which way to do it. And she stopped bleeding by the time the husband got home. I'm just not buying what she's selling. So we'll see what happens. And the sad part is you have all those nurses writing letters on her behalf because they can't imagine it. It's no different than us watching Wen lying through her teeth during her questioning with Craig Isom, Jane McPherson, and Sarah, the wannabe victim advocate. We cannot imagine being so ridiculous and evil. We can't imagine it. So that's why those nurses are like, she was so kind. But you never know what goes on inside a house. You just don't. I'm a realtor. I've sold probably 700 homes, maybe more. I haven't counted. At least that. You never know what is going on in someone's house unless you're in it and you watch them under stress, because that's who they really are. She wants to have more children. Somebody needs to rip that uterus right out of her. Cut it right out. Absolutely not. No way should they ever let. How is it any different than that chick riding the kids into the lake? How is it any different? But we cannot imagine evil because we're not. At least I hope you're not. Goodness gracious, I want to just gets me obviously very upset. And it's, hey, Catherine, but my heavens, you cannot look at Andrea Yates and this woman, flat affect and all. You can tell in Andrea Yates' face, it was different. Am I wrong? Like, you could see flat affect is one thing. Psychotic is another. It's like so extreme. It's so rare. Hey, Caroline, how are you? Hey, Jules. Tater. Caroline, someone went to get a peach. I hope you're coming back. It's so funny. Hey, Legal Focus, I have a question for you. So I'm late to the game, but I just bought the continuing legal ed, which has the video on it, you know. I didn't get any instructions. I can't show it. Like, where are the instructions that you can't show it to anybody? Anybody have that? Hey, Melissa. Catherine's going to get a peach. Hi, Marianne. Hola from Mexico. Hola. Did I say it right? Hey, Armand. Hey, Gibby. Oh, so much dancing, Tater. Hey, Blue River. How are you? Evening. Hey, Beach. Hey, Debbie Gibby. Is anyone else's dog freaking out? Oh, my. Well, it's not thundering here. I wish it was. Hey, Chris. We need the rain. Figured out your floating keyboard. I wish I knew what that meant. Hey, Hummingbird. Your dog doesn't mind thunder. Good for you. I'm very interested in the trial to learn the facts. I could be wrong, but I think they put her wrong on way too many ends and jacked her up. And do you think it's going to be a battle of the experts with Lindsay Clancy? I give my dog, because he can't take that kind of noise after the tornado that he lived through, I give him trazodone. Hey, Susie Q. It's a lower standard. Well, I'm just talking about right versus wrong. I'm not talking about, I don't know Massachusetts law from anything else. I can't. I mean, to take the time to do what she did, it's just hard to believe. So the whole thing with Andrea Yates, when they talk about the psychosis of it, that there's a reason why a lot of moms who unalive their loved ones is because water is like the amniotic fluid. Like there's this whole like mental thing with that. And so she drowned them to give them, I don't know, in her mind, remember. There's no reason to go into it, but there's a difference between that and a strangulation. This has been on my mind all day when I was on a walk. Jeffrey Lacoste said after murder, Wendy got a new phone. We've never heard any more about this. It's because the state won't tell us any more about it, right? State of Florida isn't going to tell us what's going on. I think she needs to be punished, said Tater. I just think I understand psych meds. Hey, Becky, how are you? I don't seem to be anything other than the Adelsons. Hey, Twilight, how funny are you? Happy birthday, Tater. I just see that. You had a hysterectomy at age 32, and then they put me on psych meds. I was crazy. I had a hysterectomy at 44 because I was bleeding out. But I didn't, I can remember being on, not Prozac. There was a little pink pill. I forget it. And I took myself off, and it was like, oh God, we were living here. So it had to be, I was still married to that man. Had to be 0102. I can't remember the name of it. And it was like, to me, like going off of a hard drug. I took myself off and then I was fine afterwards. I had to look up floating keyboard on iPhone. Turns out it was a correct term. You can type. Good for you. Hey, Arlene, how are you? I haven't seen you in a bit, I don't think. Hey, Bling, how are you? She had 2 bariatrics prior and is on GLP-1. Good for her. Tell her I wish her luck. Hey, Mr. C. Considering all things. Oh, well. Patty, that's why I want to watch the trial. I just know they had her on like 10 different meds at one time. And nobody can do that. My husband is. He's been on them for years. He's not on anything for dementia, but he's been on that number of meds. I mean, I haven't thought about that time of my life for a very long time. But I wanted Tater to know she wasn't alone, but it was absolutely terrifying to be pregnant in one of those hospitals. Nice hospital. I mean, it was pretty lovely grounds, by the way. You don't watch them? I know I can't handle it. Right, Patty? And when I wasn't on all that stuff, I was repentant and very sorry. Oh, bless your heart, honey. I was a little early. Very low tolerance for drugs. They go straight to schizo drugs, which dementia is a disease. Very sad. Yeah, he has 2 diagnoses, though, Judel. Shanna Gardner trial. She's so stupid. Starts. She's an idiot. I don't know. August 4. Her husband's is first. Well, that should be a short, sweet little trial. It will be a very disturbing case. She was a nurse and tried so many times for help. I think that's a difference. Hey, John Smith. I I can I'm not gonna read that if you don't mind. I'm gonna let that go. Didn't he remarry? Andrea Yates' husband was on her side too. I think he ignored a lot though. She had five. Going to Tallahassee. Hey, 850. Okay, thank you. I'll look for it. It's Rain Straight. Has AA Legal Focus answered my question? Yeah, that was the one. Is that the one where Grand Haven? Was that Grand Haven coercive? Case in Michigan, 8 family members. It just happened over the weekend. One woman did one of those like TikTok videos where it was like a documentary and outed her husband as a pedophile and he broke in and killed her. You take trazodone for sleep? I do too. That's why I give it to my dog. Yeah. Hey, Jules, I don't blame you. Tater's birthday. Armand thinks Ruth Markel being on a different channel lately, the timing of it all. Bless you, Patty. I wonder why you feel so strong about this. I get it. Thanks, all of you. You've made my 60th. You're just a few months older than me, girlfriend. Happy, happy birthday. Hi, Victoria. Coercive says, I've been humbled by how little I knew about the brain and mental illness until I dealt with post-concussion syndrome. Oh, my heating advisory every day. She was 250 pounds. She's now down to a 4. Goodness gracious. Good for her. I'm not. But I'm not 250 either anymore. But I don't think I'll ever be down to a 4. How tall is she, Debbie? I can't either, love. Are we saying June is naive? Yes. I don't want to get in trouble with the Tallahassee bar. Is she here? Well, thank you, Victoria. That's very nice. I don't think so. But thank you. Andrea's former husband is a twat. Yeah, I think he ignored a lot. I think so too. I think religion played a big, strong, the extremists of religion. I think that played a big, strong. She isn't here. She left. Okay. Maybe she's listening. Hey, Junebug. Member for 19 months. Thank you all so much. Hey, Florida Patty. Hey, Florida Gulf Coast. Clancy's husband remarried too. I mean, that's fast. See, things are not as they seem. Love you, love you. Who said? Oh, she's about 5'6". So she's a little shorter than me. She's yeah, I don't know. I think they Riley did live in a school bus. It's weird. Adelson hater. Religion and isolation. Hey, Mia, in my opinion, in order for that, do you have progressed to the catastrophic? It makes me think a lot of people ignored a lot. She drinks a lot of scotch. That's cute. All right. I'm caught up on the comments. So, anyway, does anybody know? I did not receive any instructions. I remember AA Legal Focus saying it was like, I wonder if True Crime Wifey knows. You could watch it like 5 times and then it would disappear or something. Hold on one second. Hey, do you have any of the rules about watching the CLE. I don't I didn't get any instructions with it. I just paid the 35 bucks. Sorry, I'm talk to text. Yeah, I think that's a big red flag too, and I wouldn't marry him. Like women. Do you think you can like well, it's not just women. Let's go to Jorge. Do you think you can save these people? Your whole family is incarcerated because of your ex-husband and she's the saint? You're the that's I have no idea, Caroline. Instructions for the CLE. This. So the Markel panel, everyone, even when Carl started all that, when he started talking about possibly giving Katie Magbanua a deal, right? Well, that came from this Tallahassee Bar Association, which is lawyer association. We have a Florida bar, but then each community could have their own bar. So it's a Tallahassee Bar Association in Georgia. Jason Newland and Judge Sheffield, who was retired, did a forum, and it was mainly for bar members, but then they opened it up to non-bar members. And as a non-bar member, well, thank you, Rebecca. Need a haircut, so thank you very much. As a non-bar member, you can pay for the video for $35. I was told, I believe that was early on in anyway, let me go back to video. I was told, or at least I heard when I watched the members only on Judy AA Legal Focus, that it was you could watch it like 5 times or 3 times. You couldn't share it with anybody and all this. Well, now everybody has it. I don't know. There was no instructions. Please don't share with the public, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, do we know when the FBI contacted Rob? I believe shortly after the murder. Yeah. So he was killed in July, right? He was gunned down in July. From what I heard, early 15, they had contacted him. Carl said anyone could get it, but I didn't know if you could show it. You can't let it play for a certain amount of time without interrupting. Let me see. I downloaded it with Framo and I mean, what can they do to me? Don't share with the public? 2:15, I was right. No, they contacted him. The FBI contacted him because he said he talked to I think it was his mother, and he said, "Well, when the FBI shows up at your door and he spoke to them. They showed up at his house. Plays only 5 times. How is that when I downloaded it to my computer? How is it only going to play 5 times? I think they've updated it. I mean, it's like an MP4 in my Dropbox now. It's not. Hey, Leslie B, do you know? Were there instructions when you downloaded the CLE? No, I don't know the rules, but people have used clips. Judy said it could be played, but others have played pieces. Judy said it could not be played, yeah. But I didn't get any good evening to you too. I didn't get any rules, like it didn't say. What are they going to do to me? They'll delete my video. It's a separate attachment. I'm not watching it. He downloaded it twice and paid $35 twice. Like, well, it helps pay for the event. I don't blame him. It's a capitalist society. I'm good for it. If you pay for it. I mean, what can happen? How long is it? Let's play June first, because that's what the title says. Yeah, I have the MP4. I downloaded the whole thing. I paid $35 and watched it a couple times. Okay. So let's watch June first, because that's the continuation. The June Umchinda. The other night we watched her. Let me get all these volumes up. The other night we watched her 3 times until like 2:00 in the morning. And so we have, most people probably didn't download it. Oh, well, I did. You will see me with my very large hair in the background. But this is the 4th and final showing of June Umchinda. We watched the first 3 of this, obviously very pretty girl. She's very attractive in the courtroom. Let me point out who's there. This is my new friend from England, Louise. This is Lifestyle. This is a reporter with ABC 2020. She does documentaries. I don't remember who that is. Don't know who that is. I forget. There's John. There's Rebecca. Rebecca can tell me who this is because I can't remember. And there's Patty. And that's me. Did June get a new set of twins? I think so. I think she did. Doesn't. Charlie paid for 1 boob. You see Patty. Yep. Okay.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes.
Nothing but the truth. Please speak loud and clearly so you can be heard. You may examine.
Hi, what is your name?
Hi, my name's June Umchinda.
Will you spell that, please?
The first name is June, and the last name is Umchinda.
Where do you live, ma'am?
I live in Boca Raton, Florida.
Do you know Donna Adelson, the defendant in this case?
I do, yes.
How do you know her?
I was Charlie Adelson, her son's ex-girlfriend at one point.
Okay, when did you date Charlie Adelson?
I dated him in 2015 to 2017. I met him after the murder.
Okay, do you recall what month in 2015 you began dating Charlie?
It was October.
And then broke up in what month of 17?
In June.
Okay, can you describe for the jury what the beginning of your relationship with Mr. Adelson was like?
Well, in the beginning, him and his family were not being investigated by anything. So it was just a normal relationship. We had, everything was great.
Did you describe it as a fairy tale?
I did.
Had you met his mother?
I have.
How many times did you meet his mom?
Not more than 5 or 6, I would say.
And when you met her, was that at family events or what type of events?
Some family events and some weekends or dinners or just get-togethers.
Did you notice during the time you spent around Donna Adelson that she was very involved with her grandchildren?
I did notice, yes.
How close was she to Charlie Adelson?
They were very close.
Worked together?
At times, Charlie worked at many offices, so when he was at his office, yes.
Okay, because there was a family business as well that he was a part of, right?
Yes.
And Donna Adelson worked at that business?
I believe so at times.
Okay, and did they speak on the phone daily?
Yes.
Did it seem like Donna Adelson was in control of the family?
In control, like, can you describe?
Like the matriarch of the family. She was the one that everyone looked to be in charge.
She played a motherly role, yes, in the family.
Did you meet Mindy Adelson?
I have.
And what about her children? Did you meet them?
I have, yes.
Were you and Charlie Adelson living together during the time that you were dating?
Not officially. I had my own place, but I had a key to his place, and we were together 24/7 since we met. So,
So basically living together.
Except when he went to the Philippines.
During what you've described or previously described as the fairy tale phase of your relationship with Mr. Adelson, was he suffering from any anxiety issues?
In the beginning,
Yes.
just stress from work, the normal day to day.
Okay. Did he come across as angry during that time, the fairy tale phase?
No.
During that portion of your relationship, what did you know, if anything, about the murder of Dan Markel?
I had no idea who Dan Markel was. I've never seen the case in the media. I just know that when I asked Charlie about his family, he advised me that his brother-in-law was murdered and shot in the head in the garage, and they don't know who did it. So that's all I knew. It was pretty short.
Was that a topic that came up one time or more than one time?
It was one time when I asked him about his family in the beginning when we were dating, getting to know each other. And then obviously throughout our relationship, it became a bigger topic.
Okay, but during the fairy tale phase, was it a topic that would come up regularly, like what's going on with the investigation and wonder who did it, that sort of thing?
So the fairy tale phase, that was before the investigation, before they suspected him or his family. So no, it did not come up, just that one time.
Okay, and did you previously say, did you have a law enforcement interview in this case?
I did. I did not know I was being recorded, but yes.
It was recorded.
I
though,
was,
right?
yes.
You had a chance to review it.
Many times, yes.
And in that interview, did you say for court and counsel, page 50, lines 19 through 23, quote, like they weren't ever curious, like who really killed him. They weren't upset about it, it seemed like. Did you say that?
If it's there, yes, I said that.
All right. And then there was a time, which, are you familiar with the bump in which law enforcement approached Dan Adelson posing as a gang member or a
Yes,
criminal?
ma'am.
Okay. And in that, after that bump, did everything sort of change in your relationship with Charlie Adelson?
During and after, absolutely.
Okay. And that law enforcement operation that I'm referencing occurred April 19th of 2016. Is that something that he reported to you? Were you aware that that happened with his mom?
No, definitely not.
He didn't say
Not
anything?
during the time.
Okay. When did you learn about that?
I might have even learned about it from 2020 or something when we watched it, or he told me later on
Okay.
after the fact.
So although you were inseparable at the time it happened, he didn't mention it to you.
No.
In what ways did Charlie Adelson's behavior begin to change around that time?
Around that time, I noticed he wasn't sleeping. He was up in the middle of the night. He was very extra stressed and anxious, worried, depressed. Overall, he became depressed over time.
All right. And at some point, I guess you learned through the media that Charlie was under investigation for potentially having a role in the murder of Dan Markel. Is that right?
I learned from a reporter that thought I was Katie that came to the house, yes.
And do you know around what time that was?
I believe it was like May or June when Luis Rivera got arrested around that time.
Okay. And once you
Or
learned,
I'm sorry, Luis.
you did learn some things from the media about this case. Was there something that stood out to you about how the hitmen said they were paid?
I did read the affidavit and everything, which said Luis or somebody mentioned they were paid in staples, like bundles of
And-
cash with
And
staples.
why
in it.
did that stand out to you?
Because I noticed that Charlie stapled his money, or he had money that was stapled.
Okay, so you had seen that in his residence before?
Right after I read that, so after I
After you-
found out that the money was stapled.
After you found out the money was stapled, you saw the stapled money?
Oh no, sorry, let me think. I can't remember the exact moment, but I know when I saw the money, a red flag came up, and I was like, after the fact that I saw it, I was thinking, oh, I think Lewis said he got paid in some stapled cash, and I mentioned to Charlie that he should just put a paper clip in it. Instead, we talked about the staples. So
Okay, but you had seen, before learning that the hitmen were paid in stapled money, had you not seen stapled money in Charlie Adelson's residence?
before the hitmen were paid,
Yeah.
I didn't know Charlie back then when the hitmen were paid.
I'm sorry. Yes, before you learned that the hitmen were paid in stapled money, which you learned from the media, you had seen stapled money in Charlie Adelson's residence.
It was after, because when I saw it, I was thinking to myself, that's strange, the staples, and then it clicked. So it was after I saw.
After you saw the article or the TV broadcast, you then observed it.
After I
in his
found
residence,
out.
and that's when it
Yes.
clicked.
Yes.
Okay. And the stapled money that you saw was $100 bills stapled into $1,000 bundles. Is that right?
Yes.
And there was quite a few of them that you saw, right?
Right.
Okay. During the time between, I guess, the few weeks before that article was published, so between what we now know was the bump and when all of this came to light, did you notice Charlie beginning to communicate more with Catherine Magbanua?
I believe I saw like a message from her, or they were on the phone once or something like that. I asked him about it.
Okay, did you previously in your law enforcement interview indicate that you saw him going back and forth with Katie on the calls, and I said, oh, why do you guys talk so much? You remember that?
I do. So I was referring to the episode where it shows him and Katie going back and forth on the calls. And then I told Charlie and said, you never talked to me like that. So I was wondering why he talked so much to her.
Isn't it
At that
true
time.
that you noticed him talking to her at odd hours prior to the media broadcast?
No, that was all in regards to the episode that I saw, that they showed him talking to her at odd hours.
You don't remember telling law enforcement that it was weird because he didn't wake up early, and you saw that there were on the phone the times that they were talking, and it was like 7 or 8, and you thought, oh, that's odd.
No, I did say that, but that was in the episode. I told Charlie that I thought it was odd because we don't talk that way, and he said we live together. So
Okay. Have you described him as being paranoid during this time frame?
yes.
Okay. And did he talk to you during this time frame about believing his phone was being tapped?
Yes, a lot.
Had you ever met Catherine Magbanua?
I met her briefly. She worked at her front desk dermatologist office that I went to. So before I knew Charlie, I met her there.
And was at the time that the law enforcement operation occurred, the time frame we're talking about, was Katie his most recent ex-girlfriend?
No.
Who was the most recent ex-girlfriend?
Before me, it was someone named Whitney Kick.
Okay, so she was in between you and Catherine Magbanua.
She just calls that girl out. She calls her out real.
Yes.
Did you ever know Catherine Magbanua working for Charlie Adelson or the Adelson Institute?
No.
All right, and then when you mentioned you were still with him at the time that Magbanua was arrested, did his erratic behaviors get better or worse at the time of her arrest?
It was worse.
Okay. And can you describe those behaviors for the jury?
Well, it was a lot mixed with what I said earlier, the no sleeping, depression, and our whole relationship just took a big turn, and I wasn't sure why. In the beginning, he was just acting strange and would go to his friend's house, and our routine kind of got disrupted, and I wasn't sure why. So it was just like I knew something was going on, but I didn't know exactly what the problem was. So
Did he become angry, short-fused?
at certain times, he would.
Okay, and I'm particularly talking about this time frame around Katie's arrest and just after that. Trip chair. Around the time right after Katie's arrest, is that the time frame where these behaviors escalated?
Right. Yes.
And did, particularly when the case or the investigation came up, is that something that would make him angry?
Not really angry. He had different emotions every time it would come up. So
And was one of those emotions anger?
at some point, sometimes, yes.
And did you say he would get really red and screaming and take random walks, just acting like a crazy person?
He would at times, yes.
Did he get a second phone and maybe a third phone during that time?
I saw one more phone that he got and then it disappeared. So it was just a short period of time. He had another phone.
At some point during this time frame, did Charlie Adelson begin communicating with you via WhatsApp?
He did actually when he went to Asia because
Asia.
it's like I guess you can talk to anyone in the country on WhatsApp. So he thought it was easier that we spoke there.
Was he only communicating with you via WhatsApp when he was in Asia, or did he do it when he
We
came
just
back?
developed the habit after he got back. We just spoke on there all the time.
Do you know if he was communicating with Magbanua via WhatsApp?
I don't know.
Did he start keeping a bag of clothes by his bed around this time?
I saw him keep a change of clothes one time or a few times, yes.
Did he sleep with a gun around this time?
He always has guns around because he has his license to carry. So he didn't physically sleep with the gun, but he has one in his nightstand and all over the place. So
What about Wendy Adelson? Did you notice an issue between Charlie Adelson and Wendy Adelson during this time frame?
I wasn't too involved with them, but I did notice one time they got into an argument.
All right, and did he tell you it was a fight about this case?
He just said that it was something about the case. Yes.
Okay, do you remember exactly when that was?
Not exactly. I don't know if I should guess or not.
No, please don't. So was there a time frame where Wendy and Charlie were not speaking because of some type of a disagreement about this case?
Yes.
What about Donna Adelson? Did her behavior change at all around this time frame that we're talking about?
So I wasn't around her a lot, but when I did see her, yes, she was upset.
Okay. And did you describe her as a mess?
Yes, if it's there, yes.
What does a mess mean?
Just like mentally upset and physically drained or not their usual self.
All right. Was she crying when you saw her?
At a point in time, yes.
And did Charlie Adelson advise you that she was taking painkillers for stress during that time frame?
Yes.
And was there a time when you were on the balcony of Donna Adelson's residence and she made a statement to you about Dan Markel?
We were speaking about Dan because the case was such a big thing at that time, yes.
Okay, and what was the statement she made?
Well, her life was crumbling down in her family's life. So she said everything felt like Dan was haunting her from the grave or them. I don't know. Whatever it says there.
She feels like Dan's back from the grave, like haunting her or something.
In reference to that, yes. I don't, yeah.
No further questions.
Cross-examination.
Thank you.
Did you answer the defense or not?
Okay.
Judge, can I ask one more question on this?
Go ahead.
Did Charlie Adelson make a statement to you about Catherine McVanilla's breast augmentation?
After the 2020 episode, he made a statement and joked about it, yes.
What did he say?
He was saying they were thinking that he paid for the whole thing, and then he said, like he said he paid for one or something and laughed.
Only paid for one of the breasts, half of the work.
Right, but he was laughing, so it was just a joke.
Okay.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning.
My name's Jackie Fulford, and I, along with Josh Zellman, we represent Donna Adelson. I've never met you before, correct?
No, never.
I just really have a few questions. There's been some discussion in your direct examination about what you might have told law enforcement during an initial interview, correct?
Correct.
And you were told that that was not being recorded, correct?
Yes.
And that whatever you said wasn't going to be used, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you gave a lengthy interview then that day.
Yes.
And at the time that you did that, you were broken up with Charlie, correct?
We were going through a horrible breakup at that time, yes.
Okay. You previously said that Charlie's really good at persuading people. He lies and he makes it believable. You recall that?
I do.
I want to talk about the cash for a minute. He had a lot of cash, right?
From what I saw, I don't really know his bank account, but
I'm just talking about the cash that you saw.
yes.
Okay. And you testified, there seems to be some confusion about whether you knew that before you saw it come out that it was stapled, because I thought you previously had said that when you saw in the article that Luis Rivera referred to being paid in stapled cash, that a light went off in your head because you had previously seen Charlie had stapled cash, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And he had it stacked in $100 bills in groups of 1,000. He'd put 10 together and he stapled them, right?
Right. I didn't see him staple them, but
But you
they
saw
were
that it was-
stapled already.
You saw that it was stapled, correct?
Yes,
And he had a safe in his room that he kept money in,
he did.
and it was a very large safe, correct?
He had guns in there too, so it was large.
And I think at one point you told law enforcement that it was about the size of a refrigerator, right?
Right.
So you did an initial interview, you've been deposed, you testified in Catherine McVanilla's trial and in Charlie's trial, right?
Right. This is my fourth trial.
Okay. So I have the transcripts from each of those. And you testified on direct that you didn't think the Adelsons, referring to all of them, you didn't think they were curious about who had killed Danny and what had happened. You recall telling law enforcement that?
Right. At that time, it seemed that way.
Okay. And didn't you later say that you were really just speculating about that?
Yes.
When you testified, let's see, when you testified in Katie McVanilla's second trial, referring to this statement about attributing to Donna that she said those words about Danny coming back from the grave and haunting her, in Katie's second trial, you actually kind of came off of that, didn't you?
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you say it again?
Yeah, sure. When you
Lost train of
testified,
thought.
so you originally made that statement to law enforcement. You used those words.
Yes.
He came back from the grave, haunting her, something to that effect.
Right.
Okay. But when you testified in Katie's trial, didn't you say that those weren't the exact words that she said? She was just very upset, and to you it came out like that. Didn't you testify that?
What's the page in line?
Let's see, it would be page 1196. It starts at line 3, the questioning, but the answer is lines 14 through 16. I don't know, like, if they were those exact words, I think she was just so like stressed out and upset that's how it came out. That's what you testified to, correct?
If it says it there, I don't remember Katie's trial because it's been a while, but if it says it there, then that's what I said.
And you were testifying under oath then, correct? Every single time that you've given these, I'm sorry. You were under oath, correct?
I'm sorry.
Please answer out loud all questions. Just don't nod your head.
Oh, okay.
Because the court reporter can't put down that you're nodding your head.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the answer was yes, you are under oath.
Yes, I think if it says that, then yes.
Well, you took an oath here today before you started testifying, correct?
Yes.
And the other trials, you did the same thing. You swore to tell the truth, right?
Right.
Can I have just one more moment, Judge?
All right.
Nothing further.
Any redirect examination?
No, Your Honor.
Is the witness released?
Yes.
You may step down at this point.
Thank you.
Have a good
I
day.
don't think you can see her fabulous shoes because they are fabulous. Yeah. They never show her shoes, but woo, they were fabulous. Really pretty shoes. Okay, so someone sent me a message saying, yes, the video is copywritten, so I cannot share the video in full. So I won't share it in full because I don't want to lose my YouTube channel over anything to do with the Donna. Anything to do with the Donna. Donna was wishing she was sharing Van Cleef. I'm sure Charlie liked to show off her cash. Yeah, there were several times in that trial, if you remember, where Jackie Funeral Home Fulford threw Charlie under the bus and said he was guilty. I mean, she said it. I've never encountered stapled cash. Dude. How many hands do you need to drink water? Apparently 2. I mean, she was in 4 trials. It's a lot for anybody. I mean, how many cases run like this? Very, very, very few. And I think that's one more reason why it's so interesting. Those days are gone. Like a full-size refrigerator. Yeah. No, it was a full-size refrigerator. You know, one of those the really tall ones that you can buy at like Bass Pro. Best thing ever. Charlie turned around during his trial and Wendy smiled. He actually thought it was a woman flirting. Couldn't recognize his own sister because Wendy had straightened her hair. I don't think she chose Jackie. I think Josh Zellman chose that Jackie. I don't think it was her. George's mom is really pretty, but I don't like to point her out. Fulford would be the type to call it a funeral parlor. Even considering the 80s with the big shoulder pads and women's wear, Tom's jacket is too big. And Jackie F. probably didn't charge as much because she wasn't really practicing law. Her office address is the funeral home. Yeah, I read that. It didn't used to be. It used to, because she doesn't live in this county. And she used to use her house. But now it's the funeral home. And that's where the appellate court's running. The appellate case is running out of the funeral home. June wants to play herself in the Lifetime. Oh, well, there's going to be one. I bet. I mean, I don't know for sure. I don't think anything's been signed, but she got to pay for that electric Hummer somehow. That's what she drives. She drives an electric Hummer. It's a sight. Oh my, what a pair of communicators. I believe if the warden in South Dakota gave Charlie an update every day on what Wendy was doing, Charlie would crack. Yeah, I'm not buying that Wendy's taking care of Roman reason to not go on Wendy, because if he flips against Wednesday, he could be out sooner. I'm not buying that. It's a trust. It's all in a trust. You just change the trust, who the trustee is. Your father has a 75-year warranty on his burial vault. That's a lot. I mean, well, better than Mexico where they just resell your plot. In Mexico, if you don't pay the tax on your plot, they just resell it. They dump your body out and resell it. Badgering the witness. I think she has beautiful teeth. Like, no one's going to notice, Melissa. No one will notice that it's a funeral home / murder attorney. Let's see. You pray she testifies in 5. But how many? I mean, has there ever been another trial like this where could possibly be 5 trials and 6 separate convictions? Wonder who found that statement. She says it. She says it. Does she say it in the podcast? I think she says it in the podcast. You hate Hummers? Debbie, that's too easy. Office in Northeast Talleyway. It's all industrial. Some rich old lady's addiction to shopping is remarkable. Film can't be made, says Julia. Can be made whenever they want. Markels are in charge. Can be made whenever they want. She does. She drives an electric Hummer. I don't believe that. I believe their case will not be closed. They can always do an update. It's just a documentary. They did a Crystal Rogers documentary long before anybody was arrested. I don't believe that at all. Melissa thinks he's going to 100% flip on Wendy. Jay said 3 entertainment agents were contacting Donna. How would Jay know? You have no idea who's contacting Donna. I have, without reviewing the trust paperwork, I have absolutely no idea. Right now, Harvey's in charge of his trust. So, I just don't know. All those things are private. That's why they're in a trust. So we can't see them. June, no. June does not work here. June does not work here. She's in Miami. Oh, you mean the restitution? I don't know. Let's see. I mean, it wasn't on. They never had a hearing about that. Remember, they were supposed to have a hearing and they never did. I'm looking it up. See if it's still on the court doc. The billing. See. Yeah, it's not on here, so I don't know if they did it or they didn't do it. $7,900. There was a $3,000 paid receipt. It's a $2,000 fine. It's a $2,000 fine for the murder. Yeah, that's it. And then copies, $3,000. Copies, $1,200. So it's a total of $9,000. And there's a balance of $26.30. There's a credit card used. But yeah, I mean, they never had that hearing, so I don't know if they settled that out or, I mean, there's so much about her stuff that's been redacted. That's my question for anybody who wants to tell me. We're just not used to that here in Florida. But they're still trying to pay their fees, inability to be able receipt letter. Some of it's just redacted. I would love to know. No one's able to tell me. I have no idea where she lives, to be honest. I really don't track her. She sells real estate in Miami, Miss Hill says. She says it in her writing exercise class talk. She says she thought you were supposed to marry somebody you didn't love. Oh my God. So ridiculous. Hey, Caroline. Love you too. Thank you. I bet Wendy wished she would have picked someone else. Oh, Jay paid for the documents. That's how I know. I heard Ruth say she had several things in the work. I just do not believe that has anything to do with convicting Wendy because so much of it we already know. So I just don't think it has anything to do with it. Well, there's plenty of people who have films that don't tell the whole story. You mean? Hi, Pasha. Gotta go. Bye. How much money can be left? Hard to say. Jay has Donna's visitor list in her prison. Oh, he looked up everyone who wrote her. Oh, I'm sure there's entertainment people. I mean, I know that they've contacted Ruth. I know they've contacted YouTubers. So Patty, Leslie, and Judy, why doesn't Georgia at least charge Wendy with second-degree felony as she lied, committed perjury, and a lot? Why don't they charge Harvey with witness tampering? We have absolutely no idea. It's very frustrating to live here and watch what they don't charge people with. Very, very frustrating. Now, do I know everything about the case on what what they have against Wendy and Harvey, but other attorneys, including Judy, AA Legal Focus, had said what he should be charged with witness tampering. You can't buy witnesses hotel rooms and be able to get away with it. It's so upsetting. It's just so upsetting. But that's the way we are here. Well, a lot of people could beat the system and marry a man they don't have a passion for, but they don't murder him. I mean, because the people that he applied, all three were producers. The Castigar stuff is complicated. Josh Ritter explained today. Also rare. Jay posted on one of his videos the visitor log for Donna, and 3 of those people were video people and documentary people. As a short on it and shows the log. It's hard to get someone for perjury. Wendy has been careful to always act like she can't remember things. If a witness just guessed wrong, it's not really perjury. It has to have intent. That whole thing, though, with the driving around, there's parts of that you like, you're lying, and we know you're lying. You can't tell me the feds do not have goods on Harvey in the dental business. All of that time has gone. All of it time is gone. There's and they don't have forever to do those things, to charge people. They just don't, whether it's tax evasion or not. The short sale mortgage issue that I brought up, where they bought Whale House, the Whale House property, I did muted. I'll go back. I'm like literally talking to myself. Go back to the Crystal Rogers case. And thank you. Crystal Rogers case, when I was answering with the Fed, sorry about that. I must have hit it. It's so sensitive. But with the Crystal Rogers case, the state of Kentucky went to the FBI because the state of Kentucky has limited resources when they're testing evidence. So they brought in, at their request, the FBI. I do believe that obviously the FBI was involved with Lewis because of the RICO charge. And when he turned state's evidence, the FBI was involved. It's very rare, right? I mean, there was no kidnapping. There was no, there was a hit, but there was no other, what other FBI issues were there other than Louis Rivera? But thank God they there. I was muted for a long time. Okay, well, thank you. Trying to lip read. So anyway, that's what I was saying about the Markels. They're choosing not to do a wrongful death because they're choosing not to do a wrongful death. And I was saying Sherry Ballard did not. She chose to do a wrongful death suit against Brooks Houck prior to his conviction. So it can be done. It's just a choice. They are choosing not to sue her. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, 5 minutes. It is what it is. Bye, Judy. Thank you. Chat can hear you. Got it. Thanks. Sorry. Happens. I do it a lot. Seem like 10. Bless your heart. Well, I'll edit that out. How did she learn of her small ear canals? Prison doctor? Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened. They're choosing not to sue because they want one day to see those grandsons. You know, but they're almost like one turned 17 soon, right? I don't know that that's gonna stop that. Hurry, 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 hurry. Markel's thinking about those boys. Well, in Sherry Ballard's case with Crystal Rogers, there's a young boy and she didn't care. She's suing. She's like Miss Cheryl Williams here in town. Cheryl Williams had okay, Ansley, you don't want to see me? Doesn't matter. I'm going after you. Going after your mama. Going after your mama. Turned 17 in a few days. I don't believe that, Tater. I no longer believe that. I don't. Sorry, I just don't believe it. I don't believe she's brainwashed them. I believe they're just under her thumb. And I just don't believe it. There's a lot I just don't believe. It is not the statute of limitations. Well, thank you, Debbie Gibby. I don't think it's about the money. I think it's about punishment. Did Wendy take her name off the trust cut house like she claims? I don't see how she could if they had a mortgage. You would be right, Rick. Thank you so much. You are correct. And we talked about that on past shows. But she says, I took the name off the house. You can't do that when you have a mortgage. There has to be a quick claim and then a refinance. So that was one of the questions if I ever had Stephen Webster on, I was going to ask him about. But there has to be a quick claim. And they had only refinanced that house like shortly before the murder and shortly before her divorce. So they refinanced it and then with Regions. And then that's in any homesteaded property. You cannot, unless it's cash, you cannot just go ahead and take your name off of a property when there's a mortgage because the mortgage company doesn't give a shit if you have a divorce. So you are right, Rick. Oh, she absolutely doesn't want to rock the boat. Remember when the red dress came out with the bar mitzvah. Yeah, she doesn't want to rock that boat. Ruth mentioned that there was an optimism that there could be breakthrough. Yeah, I watched that. Hey, Razzle. I hope one or both of the boys go rogue and seek out the Markels. Wendy's son should get ahead of it. And apply to Florida State so he can visit mom. Cheryl Williams is wonderful and said she was pleased to bring her dad home and leave Ansley financially independent. Julia, did she get money? Did she get money from them? Poor Gomez. Gomez is Jorge / George Estrada. But we're not supposed to talk about him, friends and family. What kind of nutcase was that? You were on the warranty deed, but not on the mortgage. She was on both. She's on both. The sons also probably don't want to believe their mom was in debt. I mean, nobody knows their house stinks, right? You don't know your house smells until you know your house smells. That is absolutely correct. A wrongful death suit. There is no pleading the fifth. Now they will prolong it. They will delay the trial in a wrongful death until after the convictions, but no. I pray that when they're 18, they leave her in the dust. Makes me want to go to Austin on vacation, I ain't gonna lie. Really does. We all want to see it. Oh, those fake contacts would be coming out. That's for sure. There would be no contacts. Ruth doesn't scare the boys and bring her children and brings her Canadian grandchildren to see the boys. Hi, Live Love. Did anyone else hear that Dan did not go to Donna's mother's funeral and it caused a stink? No. Donna's mother's funeral. She died long before. They weren't together. Don't make me go to Ancestry. Hold on. Dude, I had to just change my password on that. I don't know what it is. Hold on. I'll get you the date of Aunt Donna's mother's funeral. Hold on. I have a tree. I have a family tree of the Adelsons. Lorraine Jacobs, Donna's mother, died in 1999. So he would not have gone. It wouldn't have caused a sink, but he would not have been able to go to her funeral. Her name is Lorraine. Lorraine Jacobs. No, she says it. She says it in the courtroom. She says, I went in, took my name off the house, blah, blah, blah. No, she says that. I would have. Advice, do you think she calls me? How would I absolutely know that? There's absolutely no way for us to know. I hope so. I hope he wised up, but I have no idea. I don't believe it. I believe he's hooked in. Did you do real estate near St. Augustine? No. We did it in Jacksonville for a period of time from here, but not St. Augustine. I wonder if Ruth is helping the older boy get into Harvard. I mean, pay for it. Like, I don't know how getting into Harvard, I don't know how that works. Eventually, every boy needs their father, and the Markels are the link to that. I think they're probably already curious. Hey, Trial Watchers Guild, how are you? She died in 1999, Rick. She couldn't have gone. She was born in, her name was Lorraine. She died in 1999. He's physically unable to go to her funeral. Shelley has Dan's trust fund and is paying for Ben's college. I bet the boys seek out Robert first. Oh, okay, nice. Ansley got 1.4 million. The state agreed not to prosecute her for insurance fraud if daughter got the cash. Boys probably have already gotten curious. All they had to do was watch a million YouTube videos. Amen. I don't know how, I honestly have no idea how legacy works with Harvard. I really don't know. I bet she takes a triple dose of trazodone. I bet that ex-boyfriend Dave is so glad he didn't get involved. He's a billionaire. He is a billionaire. The man is a billionaire. He was a cybersecurity savant. He sold that company for billions and then just started another one. Ruth sees the boys and brings her Canadian grandchildren. Cannot fathom Jorge staying with Wendy. I gave up on those two. Her eyes are blue. Her eyes are blue with blue contacts. Lorraine, that is her name, yeah. They were married in 2006. No. So the rumor is false. All you got to do is, I mean, it's simple look up, but yeah. People just try to, I don't even know why. No lending agency is going, no, you have to go in and refinance. Hey, Trial Watchers Guild, how are you? I've never been to Homestead, so I have no idea what it's like. I can share with you her gravestone, which says 1999. Here, let me send it to you because no one's going to believe me until I do. I don't know why people don't believe me, but they don't. Got to prove it. Did a whole tree on the family, like extensive. Ta-da! 1999. This is the extent of her obituary. Thanks, miss. Yep, look. Jacob's Lorraine. That's mama. Charlie should have dated him. Charlie liked Dave. She honestly didn't. I swear, I promise you, she did not. Donnie Harrison didn't know his dad was George. Holy shit. I don't know what you mean on his mother's side. I question Dave hiring Bree to be his kid's nanny. I do question that process. Wendy was pettier when she was in her 20s. Oh, prettier, not pettier. Or both. He didn't. You are right. Dan would not go to Lorraine's funeral. She died before they met. So, yes, you are all correct. You got your nails fixed. Oh my God. Can I even tell you? The difference is absolutely incredible. Someone thinks who went to Lorraine, Dan. It was just a story. Yeah. Hey, Tally French, how are you doing? Charlie is named after someone. Yeah. Daddy, right here, Charles. How's my husband doing? Depends on the day. Depends on the day, but thanks for asking, Miss Demeter. Who buries the inmates? The family. If there's no family, then they go into Potter's Field. It's not her sister. This is her mother. I promise you. I always wonder why Donna would name him Charlie. Well, her dad. How would Wendy's boys believe their uncle and grandmother would plan their father's demise without mommy? Is Cheryl Williams still alive from what I know? Someone else in the chat might know more. Do they sell day planners in the commissary? Yeah, you can get paper. That's how she got that notebook, right? I have no idea the two. All I know is she died in 1999. I can't answer any of the. I've never heard that rumor, so I don't know. Bree has a degree. I was a nanny for a prominent family, and at first the mom wouldn't leave me alone with the kids. Maybe he just wouldn't go to a cemetery then. Maybe. A lot of people don't like cemeteries. Thanks, Becky. I wish. I wish. You'd like to see a picture of Danny with Uncle Laz. I think my Ruth might have some of those. You know, Canada has very different privacy records than this United States. So Canada is very tight on the privacy where we don't have that. I beg to differ, but okay. I dispute that. Live, love, laugh. I absolutely dispute that the brother is a physician. In the Jewish religion, we name after family very common. I did a family tree on that physician, and it does not match up with anywhere that Lorraine and Charles lived. Rob said Donna wore the pants. Absolutely. No offense, but it's a Jewish family. I mean, it is kind of the way it is. My husband was married to a Jewish girl. She's since passed. Her name was Lauren. And when they were dating, when he met her, her name was Harriet. When he met Harriet Finger, she owned a bunch of car dealerships in Palm Beach area. And Harriet, when they met, Harriet asked him what he did for a living, how much money he made, and all. Like, there was a list of everything. And he was like, well, it's really none of your business. Chris is very Greek. He's not going to be intimidated. So they got along really well. Miss Cheryl is alive. Thanks, Mimi. Hi, Cinnamon. How are you? So Lorraine was 37. Yeah, she was older. You're going on a cruise and get thrown overboard. Good for you. Be careful, because those cruise lines don't like that. I don't know if Drina's in jail or not. I can't remember her last name. It's so true. Patty, can you replay Donna's closing? George's closing? You mean George's closing, Zelda? Is that what you mean? He wouldn't visit the grave. She's just buried. I think she's buried in the same. Let me go back to it. I think Lorraine is buried in the same plot area as my husband's first wife. Star of David Memorial in Broward. Pretty sure that's where she is. Grandpa died at. Now here's his. See, it's so funny to me. So here's his obituary. Good Lord. They couldn't make these photos any smaller, could they? So his obituary is much larger. So Charles P., Deerfield Beach. He's survived by his wife Lorraine, 66, Miss Donna, brother Sam, sister May, grandson. One grandson. So that was Rob. I think, right? Zimmerman of Tamarack. When did he die? 75. So it was before the others were born. Hers is like 2 lines. There's Lorraine, Roth, Jacobs, and that's it. Star of David. Hey, Cinnamon, you're working a lot. Good for you. Patty. Yes, Wendy calls me every time she visits Harvey. I have absolutely no idea. All I know is that when we were at the trial last year, Donna's trial, Harvey and Wendy were Chatty and Kathy. I mean, Chatty Kathy going on and giving a kisses and hugs. So you heard Drina is out. Bernhardt. Let's see. Is that how you spell it? Like Bernhardt, like Sarah? She's not in. Oh, it has a D in it. Hold on, let me do it one more time. Nope, not in. She's not in now. Yeah, Georgia's closing. I know what they said, live, love, but I did the whole, it's not Eric. His name is not Eric. It's not Eric. It's Elliot. And that's still not him. I have absolutely no idea where they prepaid for their plots, but I'm sure it's there in Broward. Are you his third wife? No, I'm his second wife. Chris divorced. Well, she divorced him years ago. She's been gone, I think, almost like, oh God, let me look. Don't get me started on these things. Lauren. She was Palm Beach. Let me see. I think Palm Beach. God, she's been gone 12 years. Oh my God. She's in the Star of David at the Palm Beaches, so it's a different one, but she's been gone 12 years. Mm-mm-mm. My girls are named after their Bubby and grandson's named after their Zadie. Wait, so that doesn't mention a brother for Donna then, right? Nope. Telling you. I personally believe in my research that it's not Eric, it's Elliot Jacobs, and it is not that one. The Elliot Jacobs that Fancy Fiction came out and said, oh, this is the brother, Patty is so wrong, did not grow up in the same area as them. Wasn't born in the same area. It's not like Charles and Lorraine Jacobs had a ton of money, because they didn't. There's a law. Oh. There was a lawsuit at the Star of David. It's like a chain. Wonder if Rob will visit his parents' grave. I sincerely doubt it. How old were Donna's parents when they died? I mean, you can do the math. Hold on. Dad was 66, right? 66, and then 86. 66 and 86 were the ages. Out for now. You ain't lying, little biddle. Your cremation is paid in full. Good for you. You're having a payday candy bar. No, I showed it to you. Hold on. Everybody's got to pay attention. Hold on. And this is in 75. Survived by wife Lorraine and daughter. One daughter. There is no son mentioned. I will. I'm not going to look it up right now, though. But I will look it up because it's interesting. There are multiple Elliot Jacobs. It's not Eli, it's Elliot. She doesn't have this. No mother of a murder victim gets to determine whether someone moves forward with prosecution. Doesn't happen. It just does not happen. You don't have that kind of sway. No, the son is not mentioned because he was disowned. He was disowned. No, that is not true. Harvey is an only child. Donna has a brother named Elliot, and he's not alive. He died, but just a couple years ago. Ruth has joy now. You can only see it. 2 only children. It wasn't. She had a brother. They just disowned him. I don't know if he disowned them or they disowned him. No, we don't. It was too long ago. He's dead. He was married twice. He has kids. One looks just like Wendy. You're having a big salad. God, the filet sounds really good. I don't know what you mean by legally disowned. Was he in the will? Likely not. If they're not mentioning him in obituary, he wasn't in the will. They didn't have any money. They had no money. These people were not rich. You know what I mean? I mean, they just didn't. Donna married someone who made money. Remember, she was just a teacher. Not just, but she was a teacher. There was no money where they grew up. Well, I have absolutely no idea. I mean, I would never know that. But he was an adult. Got $1. Oh, that's a bitch move. That is a bitch move right there, Julia. Patty, you're telling me I'm going to die before they charge Wendy? Honey, I said a long time ago that I did not believe Wendy would be charged. I said it the day of her conviction. The day of her conviction, I said it. So I stand by that. I do not believe she will be charged. I don't believe that you could, I believe you can have a film. I don't think that has anything to do with it, that you can go ahead and produce a film based on it. Nobody's going to, it just means law enforcement's not going to contribute, right? That has nothing to do with the rest of it. Let's see. You want the closing. I mean, this is 11 hours, so we won't be watching all of it. Not tonight, anyway. $19.99. I just shared with you. $19.99 is when she died. You can tell when people are like going to get something out of the refrigerator. Here we go, Adelson, right here. $19.99. Hey, Rosie. Mary Lee said the minute Georgia Kappelman said we're going after restitution on Donna is when I didn't believe it was. That was the minute I thought, oh my God, you're not going after. That was at the sentencing. I'll show you. Let's do that one. It's shorter. Can you believe it's only been 9 months?
Level of
Wait, this is only 3 minutes. Hold on. There's another one. This isn't it. This is it. The longer one, they talk about, God, this is so ignorant.
Although the criminal punishment code would only apply to the non-capital cases, I would like to submit to Your Honor that it is distinguishable under those circumstances.
Going to read from head note 8 and 9. Nor was Davis forced to choose between allocution and maintenance.
Donna's 72. She was born in 55, same year as my sister. Same day. No. I lied. She was born in 50. They share the same day. So she's 76.
Of his innocence, he certainly could have allocuted without voicing his disagreement with the verdict, blaming the driver, the police, his lawyer, the trial court for his conviction, and attempting to explain his personal interpretations of the law to the judge. He could have asked for leniency without admitting guilt. He could have provided the judge with reasons to impose a sentence less than the maximum besides his claimed innocence. But he instead chose to make a lengthy statement claiming innocence, denying responsibility, and placing blame for his conviction on the alleged misconduct of others. The trial court was under no obligation to ignore such statements and did not err in considering those statements and imposing the legal sentence here. Do you have anything that distinguishes Davis in any way?
As I said, Your Honor, Davis was not a capital case.
Very well. Any other argument or evidence the defense wishes to present?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Please move forward.
I don't care. I'm accurate. I am absolutely accurate. It is not that man. He did not grow up in the same neighborhood in Queens as Charlie and Lorraine Jacobs. So I do not believe it. I've done my own research. I'm sorry. No offense to ChatGPT. I love it like it's my fourth child, but it's just absolutely not accurate.
Your Honor, we're aware that in count 1, the court has no choice but to sentence Mrs. Adelson to life for the first-degree murder charge. We are going to request a downward departure as to counts 2 and counts 3, the solicitation and the conspiracy counts.
What are the grounds?
Pardon me?
What are the grounds?
There is a legal term for that, and that's court costs and restitution. Restitution is not that. Restitution is giving back for the actual crime, not the cost of the court trial hearing. It is not restitution.
The grounds are, one is non-statutory, and that's disparity in the treatment between
Hey, Callie.
co-defendants. And the second reason is statutory, and it is Florida Statute 921.00262B. The defendant was an accomplice to the offense and was a relatively minor participant in the criminal conduct.
The evidence in support of sub B would be the trial record, or do you have something more specific?
For 4B, we're going to rely on the trial record with respect to the conduct of Mrs. Adelson, and we would ask the court to take judicial notice. Your Honor did preside over Charlie Adelson's trial, and the evidence regarding the other co-defendants' activities or participation was also brought out in the testimony in the trial of Mrs. Adelson. So we'd rely on that record, Judge.
Ms. Kappelman, as to the argued grounds for statutory mitigation and also non-statutory mitigation, does the state have any argument to make?
No, Your Honor.
You may continue.
Thank you, Judge. I'll start with the disparity. Do you need case law citations for this, or you're aware of it, Judge? Okay. The first case would be Sanders v. State, 510 Southern 2nd, 296. This is a Florida Supreme Court case from 1987.
One moment. 510 Southern 2nd. What was the other part of the citation?
I have copies, Your Honor.
296, and that's Florida Supreme Court in 1987.
Go ahead.
State versus Fernandez, 927 Southern 2nd, 939, which is a third DCA case from 2006.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Looking back on this, it looks like she didn't sleep in that month, doesn't it?
And then the third case, Judge, is State, I can't pronounce it, but State versus Kunkemoller, 333 Southern 3rd, 335. That's a first DCA case from 2022, but it is distinguishable because it does not address the issue of culpability as the first two cases do, but I wanted to bring that to your attention.
True story. She's dead inside. Think, Mary Lisa. I like the questions. It's just sometimes you're not in front of me, so I can't show you everything that I know. And I already did a show on Elliot Jacobs. It's just it's hard for me because I can't like show you. You know what I mean? But thank you for the compliment. I was muted, Indy Nana. If you're going back, I was muted. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to tape this.
May I continue?
Thank you, Judge. I'll start with the disparity argument, if I may, Your Honor. In this case, there have been several co-defendants who have either been tried or entered pleas and received sentences. I want to, for this particular argument, relate exclusively to Luis Rivera. He testified in the trial, and through himself and other witnesses, Your Honor has heard what he did in this case. And what he did in this case compared to what the state has alleged and the jury found that Mrs. Adelson did, the culpability levels are very different. Mr. Rivera was allowed to enter a plea to second-degree murder. And although, as the PSI indicates, he received a sentence of 19 years in the Department of Corrections, that was run concurrent with a sentence he was already serving in a completely unrelated matter in a federal case where he got a 12-year sentence. So the number of years that he will actually serve for his participation in the homicide of Dan Markel.
I never understood why she's trying to relitigate the is Patty asleep? No. Patty's right here. Right here. I'm eating my Three Musketeers. I never understood why she tried to relitigate Luis Rivera's sentence.
Is 7 years in the state of Florida Department of Corrections. His conduct, as Your Honor can recall, is that he traveled to Tallahassee sometime in June and scoped out the home of Danny Markel, engaged in some drug activity with Sigfredo Garcia, and then returned to South Florida.
Wait, what's that got to do with it?
Later, he returned to Tallahassee.
Can someone please explain what that drug activity has to do with this?
And again, scoped out Danny Markel's house. But he didn't just do that. Prior to arriving in Tallahassee,
it's not you, dear.
Himself knowing
it's not
that
you.
he and Sigfredo Garcia were going to kill Danny Markel, he purchased and provided the very firearm that was used to kill Danny. He came to Tallahassee and they sat in wait outside his home. They followed him with Mr. Rivera being the driver.
Not just Donna's money, but without Sigfredo Garcia. If it had only been Luis Rivera, he would not have been murdered.
Followed him while he took his two little boys to daycare, and he watched. He sat and watched as Mr. Markel, hand in hand, took those children inside the daycare. He then followed Mr. Markel all the way to the gym, sitting in wait. What was he waiting for? He knew what he was waiting for. Mr. Markel did not. He had no clue that these men were outside in a car just waiting for him to go to a place where they could shoot and kill him. And they waited until he exercised. They watched him get back into his vehicle and then, like hunters, traveled and followed all of this time period straight to his home. And there was
I have
no
3 mosquitoes.
hesitation. He knew exactly what they were going to do. Without any hesitation, they pulled right in behind Danny. Danny's car was still running. The garage door
How many of you are offended when she calls him Danny?
was up, and Sigfredo Garcia exits the car and shoots Danny Markel,
Hate it.
having done nothing to these men, in the head twice. How
Hate it.
Mr. Markel survived, I don't know. But then Luis Rivera is the getaway driver. They flee the scene, they flee Tallahassee, and then Mr. Rivera stops to allow Sigfredo Garcia to dispose of the murder weapon, which has never been found. And then he drives back to South Florida like nothing has happened, purchasing motorcycles and cars, but most importantly, getting paid for the work that he's just done. The payment came from Catherine Mangbanawa, and I'll address her in the next segment. The point here is, Judge, that over time, reading different things, you've heard a lot of arguments about what Mrs. Adelson's participation allegedly was. But when it comes down to it, and I didn't mention, but Luis Rivera did have an extensive criminal history at the time that he committed this offense. What actually came out at trial with respect to Mrs. Adelson, and I'm saying this, understanding, as you've learned, that Mrs. Adelson still maintains that she is innocent of this conduct. But what the state was able to show through their testimony and evidence was that the role that she played, according to them in the prosecution, was very minimal. The evidence showed that she was very upset when relocation was denied in 2013.
Minimal.
Not knowing that her daughter had agreed to it, not knowing that until she sat here in trial, hearing her daughter's testimony.
Bad.
She wrote some very ugly emails. She said some very ugly things. But in not one of those emails did it ever say that she wished harm upon Danny Markel. And this was in 2013. The evidence was presented by the state that was over a year later that Danny was killed after relocation had been denied. Although they argued that there was continued hostility on the part of Mrs. Adelson regarding the issue of relocation, with the hundreds of thousands of emails they had, they didn't present evidence that this ongoing dispute was being brought up in any way between the parties. The relocation between them, that issue had stopped. The testimony that was elicited.
They're so
was
generous,
that
aren't they?
Charlie Adelson, the son of Mrs. Adelson, was the one who was close with Mrs. Adelson, and that when she had a problem, the argument from the state was, when she had a problem, Charlie was the problem solver. And the testimony at court that was presented by the state supported that theory, that Charlie was the problem solver. They further elicited evidence, testimony, that without any knowledge of what the phone calls were, Catherine Mangbanawa testified that when she was with Charlie Adelson discussing scenarios, which she didn't describe what scenarios she was discussing, that on occasion there would be a phone call between Charlie and his mother. She didn't hear the mother speaking. In fact, he left the room when he talked to, allegedly, the mother, and he came back in. He never relayed to her any information about the phone call. But the state's theory and the evidence that they presented was because Donna Adelson had been so upset about the fact that relocation was denied, and she continued to be upset, according to the testimony, that Charlie Adelson took it upon himself to reach out to someone, which was his girlfriend, and have her get someone that she knew who could commit this murder, make contact with them. According to the testimony in the state, in this case, Charlie Adelson told Catherine Mangbanawa, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, it's just those the names were reused, but Mrs. Mangbanawa, that she wanted him killed and he would pay for that to happen. Her testimony was she had no idea what the payment was going to be, but she did in fact reach out to the father of her children, Sigfredo Garcia, and he agreed to commit the homicide. Mr. Garcia then elicited Luis Rivera to participate with him in the homicide, and I'm not going to go through all the evidence in the case.
Yeah, why
I'm
would
gonna
you do
focus
that?
on What Mrs. Adelson allegedly did. Up until the point of the homicide, the only evidence that was presented about Mrs. Adelson's participation were those ugly emails. And there's a distinction, as we discussed during the trial and sometimes even at sidebar, of the evidence being up to the moment that Mr. Markel was killed. Up to that time, the only evidence introduced by the state in this trial for that time period were those ugly emails, and they were ugly. She called him very foul names. She said some ugly language. She clearly was not happy. And whatever conversations may have taken place while Catherine McBanawa was inside Charlie Adelson's home and Charlie was outside talking to another person.
I see Tallahassee Lassie.
Mrs. Adelson maintains her innocence. But if you're looking at this particular cause of this disparity in treatment, the state is asking that Mrs. Adelson be sentenced
Tally
to
French, go feel better.
obviously life on count 1
Go
if she
feel
has
better,
to,
honey.
followed by 30 years in the Department of Corrections on counts 2 and 3. This is far in excess of the sentence that was received by the man who himself testified
What's that got to do with
to
it?
hunting down Danny Markel, providing.
Why are attorneys allowed to try and relitigate something? I'm going through a transaction right now, which is a sale of a home, and it's the probate is closed, and the children are trying to reopen probate. Why? Why would an attorney know they're going to lose, take that case just for the dollar? Why are you trying to relitigate it?
Be murdered with, leaving the scene of the crime, disposing of the murder weapon,
Watch your
and going
space.
on with his life and his gang as he always had. In that disparity, Judge, it just doesn't reconcile with the facts here of what they.
There's Tamara Demko right there. Do you see her? That's her. Everybody see her? That's where my little pointer finger is. That's Tamara Demko.
Say Mrs. Adelson did. Although there was a theme that she was the mastermind, I would argue to the court that the evidence did not show she was the mastermind in any way. The masterminds that were shown in this trial were Charles Adelson and Catherine McBanawa. It didn't show any activity prior to Mr. Markel being killed where Mrs. Adelson was involved in any way.
Take away what you're arguing as the theme for the moment. The chief difference between Luis Rivera and your client is he entered into a plea, correct?
That's correct. He did enter into a plea, but that, according to the case law, that can be considered.
To who?
And he has also cooperated with the state testifying in many trials.
He was a cooperating witness testifying in these trials. Mrs. Adelson not only has maintained her innocence, she was never offered anything from the state.
And she wouldn't be.
Please continue.
On the statutory basis, that the defendant was an accomplice to the offense and a relatively minor participant in the criminal conduct, some of what I've just argued applies to this one as well, Your Honor. But what I wanted to point out here were the ones that we didn't discuss. So Sigfredo Garcia was found guilty at trial, first-degree murder and conspiracy. His sentence was life on the homicide and an additional 30 years consecutive for the conspiracy count. He is the one who rode in the car. He is the one who obtained Luis Garcia to go with him. He is the one who sat in the seat knowing he was going to exit the car while they hunted down.
Is there anyone in here? Yes, that is Tamara Demko. Is there anyone in here who is an attorney that can answer my question? Why is she in a sentencing sales pitch, for no other better word? Is she allowed to reopen or try to relitigate Luis Rivera's? Why not Sigfredo? Why not any of the others? She wasn't offered a plea because she was like really guilty. But why? Why? Does anyone know? Judy, anybody in here?
Danny Markel. And he's the one who got out and shot Danny Markel in cold blood. Left like nothing had ever happened. Along the way, made many stops, including getting out to hide the murder weapon, and then went on with his life. The killer is getting the same sentence that the lesser participant, the state is suggesting,
Not how it
get as
works.
well. Life in prison on count one, followed by 30 years for the.
But this is why law is so confusing to people, that you don't have to be the pure to actually be just as convicted as the rest of them. And that's why I think it's so hard for juries. Why are you allowed to reopen this? Like, if she wasn't as much of a participant, none of this shit would have happened without her and her daughter and her son. Luis Rivera didn't act on his own. But there's no one to say, hey, Buttercup, she is the bigger participant than the driver of the car. Yes, but he could be reversed. He could be reversed. Right? She said, I know. But Donna is the larger cog in the whole puzzle piece, Dan Rashbaum, right? Charlie, it's Wendy hypes up Mama. Mama hypes up Charlie. Charlie gets girlfriend involved, in my opinion, now long before 10/31, long before Halloween. And then she goes and finds the two thugs, or in this case, three, because there were more people involved.
Conspiracy and
Probably more.
Luis Rivera, I've already told you what his role was. Catherine Magbanawah got the information from Charlie Adelson according to the evidence, and at his request, obtained someone, Sigfredo Garcia, to do the killing. She is the one who coordinated between Charlie Adelson and Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera.
Also didn't
Although
act
she
on her
testified
own.
that she didn't know Luis Rivera was involved until after it was over. The evidence that the state submitted clearly contradicts that. She was communicating with Luis Rivera before, closely to the homicide, and then shortly thereafter. She's the one that spoke to him. She was sentenced on the first-degree murder to life in prison, and on the solicitation and conspiracy, she was sentenced to an additional 30 years. It was run consecutive. Again, the same sentence that they're asking for on Mrs. Adelson is the sentence that this woman who heard the request for a homicide, found the person to commit the homicide, stayed in communication with both of the individuals who were responsible for killing Danny Markel, followed up with them and provided payment to them, and then took payment back from them for her to keep for herself. She was also paid in this. She participated, knew it was happening. They had proof that she knew it was happening. That was submitted to the court. All of that evidence clearly distinguishable from the conduct that they presented in evidence about what Donna Adelson did. Charlie Adelson, according.
She does that even during the trial. She does that. Jackie throws Charlie clearly under the bus when she's cross-examining and says he's guilty.
According to the testimony in this trial and his own, Charlie Adelson wanted Danny Markel dead. So on his close or very first date with Catherine Magbanawah, he asks her out in public at Halloween, some Halloween function, hey, do you know anybody who could get somebody killed? According to her testimony, she followed through with that. With Charlie Adelson, never with Donna Adelson, never communicated with her. And
her audience is the judge, Little Biddle.
in any way about this, she worked then, if that's what happened and that's what's been testified to, she worked with Charlie Adelson from October of 2013 until.
We never knew who those kids were. We never knew who the boys were. They just were there. We don't know.
Danny Markel was brutally killed in July of 2014. That entire period, and there's evidence, she admitted to most of it, to her conduct, and there's evidence that was presented in this trial and Charlie's that that's what happened. They made this plan, and that his stapled money was used to pay the killers in this case some $130,000 in cash. It was divided up amongst Sigfredo Garcia. Sorry, my mouth was getting dry. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
So there's Tamara. Yeah, we never figured out who she was either. She looks like Josh Zellman, though.
Thank you, Judge. It was divided up between Sigfredo Garcia, Catherine Magbanawa, and Luis Rivera. She then stayed in contact with Charlie Adelson. She convinced Charlie Adelson to get paychecks written to her, and she received those paychecks each time from Charlie Adelson. So for what Catherine Magbanawa did and what Charlie Adelson did, the evidence in this case.
So that's Tamara Demko. You can see her here, right there. And then there's Karen Cyphers right next to her. And then Mentor Lawyers in the back. I'm sitting across from the sentencing. We were sitting on the right side, not on the left side.
Shows it went far beyond what the state's evidence showed that Donna did, up to and including the time that Danny was killed.
That is exactly
So
what she's
again,
implying.
if you're going to rate the level of culpability in this case and consider Mrs. Adelson's conduct as compared to those, they're asking that she get the same sentence as both of the people who killed, well, one person that did the killing, Sigfredo, a far more extensive sentence than Luis Rivera, who...
John Steinbeck and Carl Steinbeck are over on the other side. No, wait, did they go, Rebecca? I don't know that. I don't remember. They were there for the conviction, but I don't know if they were there for the sentencing. I don't remember. Rebecca might remember.
Participated in the killing himself and only got 7 years. The same as Catherine Magbanawa, that apparently worked on this according to the evidence for many, many months and stayed involved even after that. Charlie Adelson is the only one who got a higher sentence. His sentence was life on count 1, the homicide, followed by 30 years on count 2 and another 30 years on count 3. So everything being run consecutively. The evidence that the state has presented is that Charlie Adelson is the one who masterminded this. That's what they've shown. Even though they said Catherine Magbanawa wasn't her trial, if there's somebody who started this, according to the evidence, it's Charlie Adelson, not Donna Adelson. All the work being done was Charlie Adelson. All the money that was paid was Charlie Adelson's money. Mrs. Adelson.
So what she's saying literally is Wendy calls Charlie directly. Even though if you look at the old phone records, Wendy and Charlie didn't talk a lot before this started. She says it on the stand. He was busy.
According to the state's evidence, did not do any of that. Again, they had hundreds of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of emails. Never one in all of those emails that we all had to go through did Mrs. Adelson ever suggest any harm to Danny Markel in any way.
So ridiculous.
I understand the verdict, and she has a right to take an appeal, and that's what she'll do. But the evidence in what was argued is very far different in theory than what was actually presented to this jury. And I'm requesting that Your Honor, in determining a sentence on counts 2 and 3, take into consideration that the amount of activity that everyone engaged in this case was far, far beyond what was alleged against Mrs. Adelson. They just didn't come up with the proof for that. They did prove to a jury that she was involved, but that proof and the actual evidence was very limited to the conduct that they say that she engaged in that resulted in Mr. Markel's death. I do want to remark, if I may, just briefly on the issue of remorse. Mrs. Adelson maintains her innocence, and as she has a lawful right to do, will seek an appeal. She may not get another trial. There may or may not be parts of the finding of the jury that is reversed. May not. They can do that on the appellate court can do that on 1, 2, or 3 counts. There are lots of options that the appellate court has. The reason I say that is this. Mrs. Adelson, maintaining her innocence, could not have shown more remorse for the killing of Dan Markel.
Unbelievable.
And in her statement, although some of it I know was bothersome to the court, in her statement, I hope you heard.
I wouldn't say bothersome to the court.
Okay.
Please continue.
Okay. I misread then. I apologize based on your comments.
one of the things she said in her statement, after most of her statement being about the horrible thing that happened to Danny Markel, was that the people who were responsible for it were in prison. That's a pretty big statement considering what the state believes Mrs. Adelson's position is with respect to the others who've been prosecuted, convicted, and are serving sentences in the Florida Department of Corrections. I also want to say this.
Of course you do.
The defense's position in this case, from start to finish, has always been, on behalf of Mrs. Adelson, beyond respectful to the victim in this case, Danny Markel. He should not be lost in this case, and I said that in my opening statement. We presented evidence about a wonderful man he was. He did not deserve for this to happen. The Markels gave their statements at the conclusion of the verdict that was issued by the jury, and I listened to every single word.
That's generous.
And every single word that they said came out of the terrible grief from the loss of their son and the feelings that they have developed over the course of this 11 years in prosecuting these
I
various
imagine
people
listening to
and additional information that has been given to them. Every word they had every right to say.
Yep.
The feelings that they had are exactly what they should have. What happened to Danny Markel, as Donna Adelson has said in her statement, could not have been more horrific. He was treated like an animal, completely unaware that there was any kind of problem, that he would have any kind of physical altercation with anybody. I'm positive the first thing from his mind that day was that someone was going to kill him in his garage at his home. He did not deserve what he got. It's been very clear in the prior prosecutions and what was presented in Mrs. Adelson's trial about the conduct of these other individuals. They do deserve to be where they are. They do. Their conduct is unimaginable to me, that human beings would engage in that kind of conduct.
Is it unimaginable? You were a
An
judge.
innocent man, a well-respected man, an amazing father, to take him away from his mother, his father, his sister, most importantly, his children. That was horrific. I understand why those sentences were imposed. Not for Mr. Rivera, but for the ones that were tried and convicted. In this case, Judge, based on the evidence that was presented, the defense is going to ask on counts 2 and 3 that you sentence Mrs. Adelson to 3 years in the Florida Department of Corrections, counts 2 and 3 to run concurrently. My understanding in the court, the clerk can tell me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is
Wendy and Charlie were not chummy before this. Donna is the conduit.
Ms. Adelson has 701 days credit time served. That's what we calculated.
I'll stipulate to 701, Your Honor.
Very well.
Anything more on counts 2 and 3, Judge?
Your mouth to God's ears, Mary Lisa. I hope I am wrong. I will be happy to be wrong.
Judge, first of all, in order for it to assist Mrs. Adelson, she's going to have to be successful on count 1 on appeal. If she is, anything more than that period of time is going to basically be a death sentence for Mrs. Adelson. She is soon to be 76 years old. Her health has gotten worse while incarcerated, as anyone would probably.
Except she was doing yoga in the jail. So hobble, 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 one-legged, but she's doing yoga in the jail.
Her husband is 81
I do
years
see
old.
you.
Compared 3 years compared to the man who participated in the killing getting 7 years, I believe is a just and reasonable sentence for Mrs. Adelson. We are also going to ask, Your Honor, after imposing sentence, I know it's nothing but a recommendation, but we would ask if you make a recommendation to the Florida Department of Corrections that Mrs. Adelson be placed as close to Miami as possible, where her husband resides, so that she can have visitation. I understand we don't have any control over Department of Corrections, but we would appreciate that recommendation. And may I have just one moment, please?
Go ahead.
While she's doing that, Judge, I would ask that Ms. Adelson not be housed with Ms. McBanow, or at least have a separation, if you could recommend that. And if Ms. McBanow is currently at Lowell's, the other.
Yes, Judge, thank you for that, Ms. Kappelman. I wanted to raise that issue because we did check into that. Judge, I contacted the Florida Department of Corrections. They did indicate that they would be able to keep them separate, but that doesn't necessarily mean that folks who are familiar with and friendly with Mrs. McBanois wouldn't be where Mrs. Adelson would be. So we are concerned about that, about her being placed
Starting on November 4th, 2013, those checks were written.
at that facility. I didn't know it before, but the reception center for the women actually keep inmates there. So that, I know that's a possibility, but again, that's in Ocala, and we're respectfully requesting that she be placed closer to Miami. Thank you.
Going to review
Oh, you can't see her. I'll point her out
the last
again.
case the defense has presented for downward departure. Ms. Kappelman, you had something else?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Review the cases for downward departure or in support of downward departure, the defense has argued.
That's Tallahassee Lassie right there behind the gentleman. Right there. See her? That's Tallahassee Lassie. Hey, forensic. Good for you. Oh my God. It's always hard for me to hear this, and it's so loud. I don't remember this being a long pause. I really don't. I don't remember it being that long. Little bit.
Having reviewed the cases presented by the defense concerning the downward departure, also as well the argument that has been presented, the court has reviewed its notes of the trial and will rule on the issue of downward departure at this point. Florida Supreme Court has a two-part test concerning whether a downward departure should be granted or could be granted by the trial court. The first is whether the trial court can impose a downward departure sentence based on a valid legal ground proven by a preponderance of the evidence. The second step is whether the trial court decides whether it should impose the downward departure based on the totality of circumstances. As to both the non-statutory grounds that have been argued and the grounds contained within section 921.0026, subsection 2, subsection B. In reviewing the trial court's notes, what has been argued by both the defense and also as well the court's relying on the record itself, court will find that there is a ground for non-statutory downward departure, but it declines to exercise its discretion. As to the statutory ground, I will find that both the defendant was an accomplice to the offense and a relative minor participant in the criminal conduct. I will find that has not been proven, but in addition to, the court would still decline to exercise its discretion. As to the sentence in this matter, Ms. Adelson, please rise. Level of planning and coordination to bring the murder of Professor Markel to fruition was significant in this case. These were not crimes of chance or opportunity, and these crimes also required you to conspire with your son and others. You certainly can choose to deny your involvement and maintain innocence. The court finds the evidence in this case is clear. You will be sentenced accordingly this afternoon. The jury has found you guilty on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and the court previously adjudicated you guilty as to these same charges on September 4th of this year. On count one of the indictment for first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole or release pursuant to sections 782.04 and 775.082 sub 1 sub A Florida statutes. On count two of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to 30 years in the Department of Corrections that will run consecutive to count one. The court court will also sentence you to 30 years in the Department of Corrections on count 3. Counts 2 and 3 are to run concurrent with each other, but consecutive to count 1. As to the fees and costs, the clerk can please announce those at this time.
There you go. This is where you heard.
$100 as a fine pursuant to section 775.083. $105 as the 5% surcharge required by section 938.04. $20 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.06, Crime Stop Trust Fund. $3 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.01, subsection 1, Criminal Justice Trust Fund. $50 pursuant to section 938.03, Crimes Compensation Trust Fund. $225 pursuant to section 938.05, Local Government Criminal Justice Trust Fund. $2 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.15, County Criminal Justice Education. $50 as a court cost pursuant to section 775.083, subsection 2, County Crime Prevention. $65 as a court cost pursuant to section 939.185, County Additional Court Costs. And $3 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.19, Teen Court Assessments.
Is there any lawful objection by the defense to these assessments?
No, Your Honor.
They will be assessed at this time. The cost of prosecution, the court will reserve jurisdiction on to determine for 60 days. If a hearing needs to take place concerning this matter, that will take place at a future time. As the defense's request for the court to make a recommendation to the Department of Corrections to place Mrs. Adelson in a facility near Miami-Dade County, I have no problem making this recommendation. The Department of Corrections will have the final say because this is an administrative matter. I will also recommend to the department that Mrs. Adelson is not to be placed in any unit or facility that would also house Catherine McBanawa.
For Catherine McBanawa, safety and best me.
Previously award to the state based on the September 17th, 2024 continuance of the trial costs that were related to that. Ms. Kappelman, part of what you're seeking to pursue, is that included within that, or is that a separate number?
Are you speaking of the costs that were ordered in Charlie Adelson's trial?
No. The day Daniel Rashbaum withdrew from the case and the trial had to be continued.
Okay.
All costs related to moving witnesses and other matters.
Yes, sir. I don't know the answer to that, but I'll make sure that they're only in there once.
Very well. Defendant is to be fingerprinted, 30 days to appeal. Please file the appeal promptly.
Your Honor, may I approach the clerk? We have put I have written on the letters that I had, so we put a composite together and I've shown it to Mrs. Kappelman, who has no objection.
Please place the sticker on them so that way they can be admitted.
No objection.
We are in recess.
See, she didn't have an answer to the costs yet. No, that charge was not the restitution. Hold on. Let me go find the restitution line because she says it and it's a separate line. Hold on. We just didn't watch it. She didn't have a number for moving the people around. So that happened 38 minutes into it, 38:51.
We are requesting $723,123.68 in restitution. Defense advised that they want supporting documentation regarding this request, which is contained on this thumb drive. They're just receiving it today.
And then when you go down here, it's a separate number.
Criminal Justice Trust Fund. $50 pursuant to section 938.03, Crimes Compensation Trust Fund. $225 pursuant to section 938.05, Local Government Criminal Justice Trust Fund. $2 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.15, County Criminal Justice Education, $50 as a court cost pursuant to section 775.083 subsection 2, county crime prevention, $65 as a court cost pursuant to section 939.185, county additional court costs, and $3 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.19, teen court assessments.
Is there any lawful objection by the defense to these assessments?
No, Your Honor.
They will be assessed at this time. The cost of prosecution, the court will reserve jurisdiction on to determine for 60 days. If a hearing needs to take place concerning this matter, that will take place at a future time. As the defense's request for the court to make a recommendation to the Department of Corrections to place Mrs. Adelson in a facility near Miami-Dade County, I have no problem making this recommendation. The Department of Corrections will have the final say because this is an administrative matter. I will also recommend to the department that Mrs. Adelson is not to be placed in any unit or facility that would also house Catherine McVanawa. The court did previously award to the state, based on the September 17th, 2024 continuance of the trial, costs that were related to that. Ms. Kappelman, part of what you're seeking to pursue, is that included within that, or is that a separate number?
Are you speaking of the costs that were ordered in Charlie Adelson's trial?
No. The day Daniel Rashbaum withdrew from the case and the trial had to be continued.
Okay.
All costs related to moving witnesses and other matters.
Yes, sir. I don't know the answer to that, but I'll make sure that there.
See, she never announced that cost that was ordered for the for Donna to pay for the second trial. The restitution is a separate line, and it's 700 and what is it? 780,000, somewhere in there. She's there now. I'm going to piss you off even more in a minute. Hold on. Let me piss you off a lot. Not intentionally, but Google can piss people off. So touching and kissing, yes, they are allowed to kiss. Harvey and Donna are allowed to kiss. I never looked this up before. They're allowed a brief hug and a kiss at the beginning and the end of the visit, and may hold hands or sit together depending on specific facility guidelines, but prolonged inappropriate contact is prohibited. Brief hugs and quick kisses, holding hands while sitting together, excessive plays of affection, prolonged embracing, or continuous physical contact. All visitors must be pre-approved. They are allowed to kiss. Yeah. When she said the restitution line, she didn't ask for restitution in Charlie's. Charlie had money. She didn't ask for restitution. So that's why I say it. She only asked for restitution once. So that's why I think there's no significant future prosecution. That was my cue. It may be for others something else. They shouldn't be given that privilege. I told you I'd piss you off. Mr. Geiger is 86 years old now. Homestead was devastated in 1992. Bye, Debbie Gibby. Have a great night. I want to play. I don't know that Tater's still on. I wish she didn't tell me how long she'd be on. Mr. John Smith wrote Tater a song. Hopefully he sent it to her. She's still on? The keys are sublime. Tater is gone. Oh, well, we're going to do it anyway. I don't know that the reward was ever issued. I don't know that it was ever issued out. I've never been down there, so I don't know. Hold on. I don't know. Shit. I mean, there's plenty of apartments and stuff. He could be in there. Here's the gate. Here's the gate to Homestead. But there's apartments like right around. This is 2020. It's true. Just because it has AC doesn't mean it works. I mean, there's apartments all around that area. So he could be renting anywhere. This is big. Look how big this is. This is a huge facility. So there's apartments. These are all rentals too. He could be renting right across the street. We don't know. See, there's apartments here. Baseball field. And there's Miami-Dade. It's huge too. Where do you see Turkey? Oh, I guess out here. Yeah, it's not far from the Key, is it? I didn't realize how south it was. Damn. Oh, there's Kendall. Coral Gables. Well, if he does, I haven't found it. But I'm sure that he bought or is living in something close by. It wasn't an institute, it was a small office. Florida, because we have sunshine laws, that's why. They own some dumpy apartment complexes off of River Road. They did. They don't anymore. They only own one that I could find. All right. I'm going to play the song so Debbie can go to bed. And this is for Tater. So sweet. Happy birthday, Tater.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Happy birthday, Tater. Our Tennessee true crime investigator. She's usually wearing the #1 crown. Cause when she starts in chat, you can't shut that girl down. A proper Southern Georgia girl. When a boy would come to date her, he'd say, "Hi, I'm Billy Bob." She'd say, "You can call me Tater." Now she calls Nashville her home. She's finally settled down, never more to roam. She always makes things brighter when she comes online. Names us all individually each and every time. At the end of your handle, she adds an extra letter or two. That's her own special way of saying hi to you. Whether book club or watching an online trial, when you see Tater Bug pop up, it always makes you smile. So happy birthday, Tater. We enjoy your company, but have a wonderful day. Oh, you sweet little spud. So happy birthday, Tater. You fit in like a glove. Have a wonderful day. Oh, you sweet little spud. So happy birthday, Tater. We're sending you some love. Have a wonderful day. Oh, you sweet little spud. Believe it. Believe it.
How sweet. John. Let's play his last song too. Hold on. I could just have a night where we just play John's music. Oh, I haven't played this one. This one's called "He's Not Old, He's Feeble."
I was watching sentencing the other day of an old woman convicted of a crime. She conspired to kill her ex-son-in-law. To her, his life wasn't worth a dime. Her husband walked up before the judge. I expected him to be contrite, but when he began his allocution, it was full of venom, hate, and spite. He said, "Judge, I never knew you could lie in court before, but apparently you can do that, and so very much more. There wasn't one single word of truth from one witness on the stand. My wife's an innocent woman, and now I can't even hold her hand." He said the victim's family didn't tell the truth, and Judge, even you were surely biased. He may as well have said we are millionaires, and no court should even try us. I started thinking of his wife's words when they put her under arrest. She didn't want to go with the police. She did everything to protest. She said, "Please don't arrest me. My husband's so old and frail. There's no one else to take care of him if you put me in jail. If he makes it out of the airport and he does get home by chance, I won't be there to change him when he poops in his pants." The old man kept berating the system, the jury, and the trial, until the judge finally stopped him from speaking words so vile. The judge told his wife's lawyer, "We're not here to rehash the verdict." The old man went back to talking like he'd never even heard it. When the old man finished and his wife made a statement too, the judge gave her 2 life sentences plus 30 years to boot. The old man hung his head low when he heard what the judge had said. Wonder if he made it back to Miami or if he's lost somewhere else instead. Again, I thought of his wife's words when they put her under arrest. She didn't want to go with the police. She did everything to protest. She said, please don't arrest me. My husband's so old and frail. There's no one else to take care of him if you put me in jail. If he even makes it out of the airport and he does get home by chance, I won't be there to change him when he poops in his pants. After that allocution from that lying old weasel, I've concluded he's not frail and he's not even feeble. That old fart is just pure evil.
Victoria, what are you going to do for your birthday? What are you doing for your birthday, Victoria? Somebody just sent me Bling sent me a 1969 Land Rover. I wonder if it runs. What are you doing for your birthday? What are you doing? It's like 10:30. This is like early for us. Goodness gracious. I love that we're playing happy birthday songs, but not the kind that gets you in trouble for copyright. You know what I'm saying? You know, just this whole copyright thing is such a pain in my ass. Yeah, so copyright. I need to create a whole file of John's songs because took care of your mom. Oh, nice. Patty, are you from near Philly, South Jersey? I'm from Cherry Hill areas if you are. I am from Harrisburg, but I went to Temple University, so I know where Cherry Hill is. What is your song, Rosie? I'm so sorry. I don't know it like right off the top of my head. Do you know? I have no idea what your song is. What is your song? Isn't he? Can you picture him? Like, I don't know what John looks like, but I picture John sitting there just laughing to himself writing these songs. What is your song, Rosie? Wendy's Magic Hoo-Ha? Is that it? Oh, that's oldie but a goodie, isn't it? Oh my God. Let's do this one because it's been a long time. Is this it? Okay, yeah, this is the right song. So this is Wendy's Magic Hoo-Ha. Please send it to me. Please. This is classic.
I woke up early this morning, excited just to be alive. Poured me a cup of coffee, so glad I don't work from 9 till 5. Put in a little cream and sugar till I had it just right. Walked out onto the deck to behold a glorious sight.
Sun coming up over the mountains that I hold so dear. Thought how thankful I was that God had put me here. Deer were playing in the pasture, in the misty morning air. In the trees, birds are singing, living a life without a care.
living the dream my way. There's nothing more that I can wish. When I start feeling desperation, I go outside and look around. I see mountains, flowers, and the river, all the beauty that abounds. Each day I read a little plaque that sits there on the shelf. If God made a place any better, He kept it for Himself. In the evening I go to the front porch and turn the ceiling fan on. Sit in the swing with a margarita, sipping till the day is gone.
To you, this may seem boring. That's your opinion, my friend. To me, this is my heaven, at least as close as I've been.
We only have one life to live. Make the most of it while you can. Just stop and look at the beauty. It'll make you a better man.
I'm so happy I'm living my life right here where I am. No worries and no strife, 5 miles to the nearest town.
I love to get in my pickup and go to the river and fish. I'm living the dream my way. There's nothing more that I can wish. When I start feeling desperation, I go outside and
Oh,
look
well, you wrote me.
around.
Well, it is
I
about
see
North Carolina,
mountains.
but the email says, I don't want to share your email. My bad. The email says, hoo-ha. Am I wrong? Let me go back. It's still a good song. All right, let's play Rosie's.
I was in Phoenix, walked in a little cafe, had to fly to Dallas later on that day. They sat me at a table, and to my surprise, across from me was a blonde woman with the most beautiful eyes. I smiled and said hi, then I told her my name. She smiled back at me, then she did the same. We sat there and talked for a good long while. I tried to be funny just to see her smile. I looked at my watch, told her I had to go. I hated to leave this woman I wanted to get to know. She asked if I'd ever be back again. I said I really hope so, but I just don't know when. It's a long flight to Dallas when all you've got on your mind is a woman in Phoenix you had to leave behind. A woman with a smile and sparkling eyes all aglow. A woman whose warmth could melt winter snow. I wonder when I'll see Rosie again. Gotta get back to Phoenix. I just don't know when. It's been a few weeks since I left her there. Thought about her every day. I see her face everywhere. Sit by the fire at night, get all warm and cozy, and drift off to sleep, always thinking about Rosie. I made up my mind, gonna get back on that plane. Gotta go back to Phoenix and find her again. I hope she's been thinking about me too. Gotta find her, that's all that I can do. It's a long flight to Phoenix when all you've got on your mind is finding the woman you had to leave behind. A woman with a smile and sparkling eyes all aglow. A woman whose warmth could melt winter snow. I hope that I can find Rosie again. I'll be in Phoenix in 2 hours. Guess I'll know then. I'll be in Phoenix in 2 hours. Guess I'll know then.
John Smith, you could sell the shit out of that song. I mean, you could really sell that song. Dude, I'm just saying. Don't you guys think he could sell that? I think he could really sell that. I mean, of all the songs he's done, the North Carolina song's beautiful, but I honestly think you could get out of this song. Listen to this. You give up a lot when you monetize them? What do you mean? What do you give up? What do you give up? That someone with a beautiful voice would sing it and pay you money? Would I'm not understanding the downfall. Look at how Lionel Richie lives. He said you only need 3 love songs to make a fortune. That's what Lionel Richie said in like an Oprah interview. It really is. Audrey says it's like a true story song. I want to know what you've given up. Because you... I don't know what giving up is. I don't know.
I was in Phoenix, walked in a little cafe, had to fly to Dallas.
I want to know.
Later on that day, they sat me at a table, and to my surprise, across from me was a blonde woman with the most beautiful eyes.
Tell me what you're giving up.
I smiled and said hi. Then I told her my name. She smiled back at me. Then she did the same. We sat there and talked for a good long while. I tried to be funny just to see her smile. I looked at my watch, told her I had to go. I hated to leave this woman I wanted to get to know. She asked if I'd ever be back again. I said I really hope so, but I just don't know when. It's a long flight to Dallas when all you've got on your mind is a woman in Phoenix you had to leave behind. A woman with a smile and sparkling eyes all aglow. A woman whose warmth could melt winter snow. I wonder when I'll see Rosie again. Gotta get back to Phoenix, but I just don't know when. It's been a few weeks since I left her there. Thought about her every day. I see her face everywhere. Sit by the fire at night, get all warm and cozy, drift off to sleep, always thinking about Rosie. I made up my mind, gonna get back on that plane. Gotta go back to Phoenix and find her again. I hope she's been thinking about me too. Gotta find her, that's all that I can do. It's a long flight to Phoenix when all you've got on your mind is finding the woman you had to leave behind. A woman with a smile and sparkling eyes all aglow. A woman whose warmth could melt winter snow. I hope that I can find Rosie again. I'll be in Phoenix in 2 hours.
I don't know what you're giving up.
I'll know then. I'll be in Phoenix in 2 hours. Guess I'll know then.
You can follow him. Here's his if you have a Suno account, you can follow him. This is it. John I can't spell Suno today though. Here's his here's the song if you want to listen to it. What do you give up? Money? Fame? I'm like, damn, I wish I was Rosie. Damn. All right, let me get it. No offense, John, but that thing is kicking. Like, that's a good song. So, yeah. I'm like, that's really good. Like, I want to send it to my guy, Jason Taylor, who produces my show. All right, let's do another one. And women have always had that guy that we long for them. It's hard to find a guy who longs for you. I think, anyway.
I know you love me. What a good life we had. You know that I loved you. Through good times and bad. You need to put me away now. Locked in your heart with care. When you look at our children, I'll always be there. It's time to move on, time to find someone new, someone to bring out the love inside of you. There is someone special waiting for you out there, someone who'll love you, someone's life to share. Don't live your life in a memory. The years have gone by, it's time to be free. You have so much heart, love flows from within. Open it up and start living again. I want you to be happy, so open the door. Go out and live your life and love once more. Please do this for you. Do it for me. Don't live your life in a memory. When you meet another, you're sure he's the one. Make each other happy, enjoy life, and have fun.
Really hard to do.
Give your heart completely, no guilt, remorse, or regrets. All I've ever wanted is your happiness. Don't live your life in a memory. The years have gone by, it's time to be free. You have so much heart, love flows from within. Open it up and start living again. I want you to be happy, so open the door. Go out and live your life and love once more. Do this for you, do it for me. Don't live your life in a memory. The best thing that ever happened was when you became my wife. Time to find another. Go live your life.
Wait a second, John Smith. I'm not anyone's agent or anything. I have a sweet little cousin who sings in Nashville. But what are you giving up by monetizing this music? I just don't know. And yes, Vince Gill singing that song, that would be the perfect because it's got the harmony and the pitch. He's not singing. John's not singing. He wrote the music. The singing is AI. John is not singing. But yes, I will send him to your house. He is not singing. Are you sending me another one? You know where Vince Gill eats breakfast? Yeah, you should, because it's a beautiful song. It's really a beautiful song. That song, though, the Rosie song, I hear Keith Whitley in this one. Let me play it one more time. People are going to be like, what the hell is she doing? It's my channel. I get to do it. I get to do these things. So I think Vince Gill singing this song. I mean, not Vince Gill, Keith Whitley, who, of course, has passed away years ago. But think about this.
I was in Phoenix,
I do.
walked in a little cafe, had to fly to Dallas later on that day. They sat me at a table, and to my surprise, across from me was a blonde woman with the most beautiful eyes. I smiled and said hi, then I told her my name. She smiled back at me, then she did the same. We sat there and talked for a good long while. I tried to be funny just to see her smile. I looked at my watch, told her I had to go. I hated to leave this woman I wanted to get to know. She asked if I'd ever be back again. I said I really hope so, but I just don't know when. It's a long flight to Dallas when all you've got on your mind is a woman in Phoenix you had to leave behind. A woman with a smile and sparkling eyes all aglow. A woman whose warmth could melt winter snow. I wonder when I'll see Rosie again. Gotta get back to Phoenix, but I just don't know when. It's been a few weeks since I left her there. Thought about her every day. I see her face everywhere. Sit by the fire at night, get all warm and cozy, and drift off to sleep, always thinking about Rosie. I made up my mind, gonna get back on that plane. Gotta go back to Phoenix and find her again. I hope she's been thinking about me too. Gotta find her, that's all that I can do. It's a long flight to Phoenix when all you've got on your mind is finding the woman you had to leave behind. A woman with a smile and sparkling eyes all aglow. A woman whose warmth could melt winter snow. I hope that I can find Rosie again. I'll be in Phoenix in 2 hours. Guess I'll know then. I'll be in Phoenix in 2 hours. Guess I'll know then.
Okay, you're here. So I'm going to ask you again. You don't have to answer me now, but send it in an email if you don't want to answer it now. Why are you not even attempting to put these? I'm spitting. Like, this is important. Put it on Spotify. You can put these on Spotify. I think I sent them to you, right? How to do it. You have 10 beautiful grandchildren. Good for you, Caroline. No one's going to steal it because he has it on here. No one's going to steal it. Mary Lisa's intent. Thank you so much, Don. I'm going to go to City Hall and change my name to Rosie. So, John, are you married? Are you married, John? Spotify, your son makes money. Are you married? Let me find another one. He said he sent me. Dude, that North Carolina song, too. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't lying. Hold on. Someone just sent me an email. Oh. Somebody, okay. I'm finding it. Okay. Oh, you're married. Okay. Well, there you go. I missed it. JBZ. I missed it.
I can hardly walk into this house I used to care so much about before. I'd come home and you'd be smiling, tending to our baby crying on the floor. You'd ask how was my day, my troubles would just melt away, and I'd say good. I'd cherish every day we had. Most were good, a few were bad. I'd live them all again if I could. How can I go on living now that you're gone? So loving and so giving, you made this house a home. The kids are both grown now and living on their own. Gotta carry on somehow, but it's hard now that you're gone. I walk into the bedroom, I can still smell the perfume you used to wear. On the dressers, all your things, lipstick, brushes, gold earrings, still waiting there. It's as though you're coming back to me, but I know that can never be anymore. I take another look to see if I can find one more memory slowly turn and walk back out the door. How can I go on living now that you're gone? So loving and so giving, you made this house a home. The kids are both grown now and living on their own. Gotta carry on somehow, but it's hard now that you're gone. I have 23 years of memories. Some I keep and some I share. They are my only company. Now that you're not there, now that you're not there,
You can't be that much older than me, John. Not old man. I'll help you sell them and get some of your proceeds to myself as a single mother. It is. I know. I mean, I think it would be hard to put yourself out there that way. I mean, hell, look at me. It's hard to put myself on YouTube, but people do it and yeah, you could send me the rock version. Sure. I mean, that song is really good. Sorry. Just is. I know it's hard to I got to make a file. Hold on. I got to make a file so I can save John's music. That's what I'm going to do. I should have done this a long time ago so I can go to it and find it. Well, thank you, Song Bits. You're very kind. Oh, thanks, Forensic. I really try. I mean, you don't really try when you're real. You just do it. But it does make me nervous sometimes. You know what I mean? You do get a little nervous when you put yourself out there like that. But I do it. I'm waiting, John. As soon as he can. She just had her third open heart surgery 4 months ago. Oh my God. I know. I feel so honored that he shares these songs with me. I'm like, I'm going to go home, listen to that one and cry. I mean, all these people who, in my own case, my husband's alive, right? But he has dementia. You just get so verklempt over stuff like this. You just get so taken aback. You're a nurse who worked 2 12-hour shifts, John Smith. This is such a treat. Well, thank you, Margaret, for tuning in. Oh, well, thanks, Forensic. But it's not easy. I mean, sometimes you just sit back and go, what the fuck are you going to do? What are you going to do? Thanks, I got it. I'm about to play it. mean, literally, that's what I sit around and think. What the fuck am I going to do? It's just so crazy. Thanks, Mary Lisa. This is the rock and roll version. Maybe.
I was in Phoenix, walked in a little cafe, had to fly to Dallas later on that day. They sat me at a table, and to my surprise, across from me was a woman with the most gorgeous eyes. I smiled and said hi. Then I told her my name. She smiled back at me. Then she did the same. We sat there and talked for a good long while. I tried to be funny just to see her smile. I looked at my watch, told her I had to go. Hated to leave this woman I wanted to get to know. She asked me if I'd ever be back again. I said I really hope so, but I just don't know when. When all you've got on your mind is a woman in Phoenix you had to leave behind. A woman with a smile and sparkling eyes all aglow. A woman who was warm, could melt winter snow. I wonder when I'll see Rosie again. Gotta get back to Phoenix, but I just don't know when. It's been a few weeks since I left her there. Thought about her every day, see her face everywhere. Sit by the fire, get all warm and cozy, drift off to sleep, always thinking about Rosie. Made up my mind, gonna get back on that plane. Gotta go back to Phoenix and find her again.
We're married in 28.
Hope she's been thinking about me too. Gotta find her, that's all that I can do. It's a long flight to Phoenix when all you've got on your mind is finding the
Oh, you were
woman
married 28 years.
you had to leave behind. A woman with a smile and sparkling eyes all aglow. A woman whose warmth could melt winter snow. I hope that I can find Rosie again. I'll be in Phoenix in 2 hours. Guess I'll know then. I'll be in Phoenix in 2 hours. Guess I'll know then.
Well, I like the other version better, but it's still beautiful. I think any arrangement of that song, because the lyrics are just so amazing. But when I listen to the other version, you just put your head right in there and like, wow. I don't know. I think a lot of women will understand that song and pay to listen to it. So that's just me. That's sorry, John. I think you should sell them. I think you should try to sell them. I think you should just put them on Spotify and see what happens. I mean, what's wrong with that? Let someone like me play it on the radio. Do you know what I mean? Why not let us play it on the radio? I mean, I think I could. I'm downloading soon on my phone. But if we could play it on the radio, wouldn't that be pretty cool? I play my my cousin's music on the radio out of Nashville. Texas would dance to this. I mean, how hard is it to put music on Spotify? Can't be that hard. How do you do it? Let's say I forget. He probably went to bed while I'm ranting. He's like, all these women now. Oh, that's right, DistroKid. You need distribution. DistroKid, TuneCore, or RootNote. You can do it. You must use digital music distributor. Use the local files. Is it free? Yes, you can put your songs on Spotify for free, but you cannot upload you have to do that. While Spotify does not charge an upload, specific distributors offer free uploading models by taking a percentage of your royalties. $200,000 plays pays you $1,000. Hey, Sandra. Jacob Johnson is his name. Jacob Johnson. Well, thank you, Becky Arlen. As you both find peace. Ugh, I wish. And God keeps you. I shouldn't have done that. Spontaneous utterance gets you every time. I wish. And that God keeps you both safe, happy, and healthy. Thank you so much. But not a lot of that going on right now, as you can imagine. I know we've already played it 3 times. It's true. You give up being able to have people use them like you, and I wouldn't want that. They control it once you sign up. Oh. Because of royalties. Yeah, I can't play Jacob's music. Let me see if I can. I mean, I wonder if he's on YouTube. Hold on. He's a self-taught little guy, too. He's not little anymore, but he was. Here he is. Can't play it because, YouTube. They're going to get me on that. But, here's his song. Has to be like less than a 30-second period, I guess. Here's his song. John has a YouTube as well. Well, he should have a YouTube. He's on here. It's like... You'd play him on your channel, but you can't. You got copyright issues. He's not wrong with that. You do have copyright issues when you do it. You have to show that you were given permission to play. Need the link to my Jacob, my sweet Jacob. It's not him. Hold on. Damn. Mute that, Patty. I don't need YouTube on my back. Oh, John's. Hold on. Oh my God, where is it? Sounds like you need to go to Phoenix. I know. I think we all need to. The country one is your favorite too. Me too. Is it right here? Wait. Which one is yours? I don't see it now. Give me your channel, John. Oh, that's right. I couldn't remember. I was looking up John. Came right up. Sorry. Sorry. I'm going to start putting you in my show notes. And tagging like Blake Shelton and John Rich. I might send these to John Rich. John Rich is like all about the whole. Are your other songs on here? Is like Rosie on here? Ah, it is. Okay, hold on. Listening to your scribbling. Good Lord. I scribble, especially with a name like J.W. Smith. I'm sorry, that's hot. That's hot. That is hot. J.W. Smith. It is. Made me blush. Nope, that's hot. J.W. Smith is like, all are there but the first one. North Carolina's not in here. Is Who Hot in here? Is the Magic in here? Oh, here. Okay, let's play this one. Then we'll end it.
Wendy's got a magic hoo-ha under that gray dress. If she were anyone else, she'd be under arrest. It's so sad that she don't hardly eat, and most nights she drinks herself to sleep. Is Wendy's magic hoo-ha what's keeping her on the street? All the signs are there. You've heard more lies than your share. Wendy's got a magic hoo-ha. Without it, she doesn't have a prayer. She comes home with slap marks on her ass, explains it away. She can make up lies that fast. It's all in your mind. You're just being jealous. While I was in Miami, I wasn't seeing other fellas. Come on, let's go to bed. Mama's hoo-ha needs to be fed. You forget every doubt you've ever had. All the signs are there. You've heard more lies than your share. doesn't have a prayer. When she's confronted, she turns on the tears, flashes those blue eyes, and you forget your fears. You just imagine it all. Her trip to Miami wasn't a booty call. With Wendy's magic, hoo-ha, she may just get away with it all. She was in a bad situation, somewhere between hell and civilization. All the signs are there. You've heard more lies than your share. Wendy's got a magic hoo-ha. Without it, she doesn't have a prayer. Wendy's got a magic hoo-ha. Without it, she doesn't have a prayer.
That was fun. That was fun. Fun. We'll have to do that. We'll have a night of John Smith songs. If he doesn't mind. I mean, that's a lot. But they're very good. And I understand what he's saying, that we couldn't just play them because it's YouTube and it would kind of defeat the purpose. But you could keep some of them aside. I just think the one like Rosie is really special and you can make a lot of money. Not that money is the thing, but having like, it's your art, right? You could have it by millions and millions and millions. Play it again. I'm going to go. It is 11:38. I have to be up for work tomorrow. The sun dedicated to Dan Markel was beautiful. Wendy L or not never deserves. Oh, well, Catherine, I think it does. I think it'd be good. It's a snarky song, not a, there. But happy birthday, Tater. Happy birthday, Victoria. Thank you all for your June Bugs. Been a member for 19 months. Thank you so much. Nomi, thanks for the jewels. Now that we all know what that is, I really appreciate it. It's for Sunday. Mr. C's been a member for 15. And Leslie, 23 months. We've got to have a birthday together. Thanks, Mr. C. That's very kind of you. Love the dog. You know I do. 750, let him cook. Yeah, I know, Mr. C, I screwed up. Thank you. I screwed up. I hit the mute. Real Little Biddle, thank you for the flower. Caroline and Jules, thank you guys so much. You're such a delight to be here on a Sunday night. I hope you have a good week. I will, I know this might piss you off, but who am I if I wouldn't? I am going to do an analysis for members only for Wendy's Shittercher. And some people said, don't do it. Don't give her. Well, I'm going to do it members only. And if you don't want to be there, that's understandable. But I am going to do it. I think there's a lot of information in there that we're missing. And so that'll be fun. With my analysis, read it. You can't read it for word, but you have to have an analysis, which is what I want to do. So happy birthday, everyone. Hopefully I caught everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.